Hey, what's the deal, people? It's your boy Big Star Raw Sports here, man, with another classic episode of Raw Sports Off the Court Legends Week, man. This is, if you've been paying attention to the series, this is season 5 of Legends Week, man. And tonight, you're definitely in for a classic, man. We got my man Rashid Bey. You know, if whenever individuals talk about, the greatest players, of all time coming out of Philadelphia, some of the best point guards, period. Hands down, Rashid Bey is definitely in that conversation. Beyond in that conversation, man, one of the greats, one of the greatest, Philadelphia Basketball Hall of Fame, type individual, man. So any point guards, any guards, shooting guards, point guards, that are currently in high school or college, watching this right now, man, make sure y'all pay special attention to this episode, man, because this guy, everything that he did was just dynamic, man. Oh, we right to it. 1 second. Rashid Bey, the legend.
Hey, what's going on, Big Star? What's up,
I'm
man?
blessed by the best, man. How you doing, big dog?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I know it's hot outside, so I'm trying to stay cool as possible.
I know that's right, man. Hey, right off the top, I just want to let you know, I got a lot of ground I want to cover with you tonight, so I'm going to just go over the little housekeeping stuff real quick. First off, man, can't thank you enough just for this opportunity, man, to be able to, pay homage to your legacy, man. This episode, 100%, is going to be super special for me because coming up, I'm class of 95, North South.
Oh, okay.
You 94, right?
Yeah, 94.
Yeah, so we the same era. So, coming up, I definitely, you were definitely one of the players that was one of my favorites.
All right, what's up, cuz?
Ah, my God, what's going on, man?
You already know, cuz.
Hey, we bringing all the legends out. We got Tinky in the building. We got Steve in the building. It's going down, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but definitely, coming up, you were definitely one of my favorites, man. And so this is definitely special for myself. So, two things with Legends Week, man. I just, this opportunity to pay homage to your legacy is special. I definitely don't want anyone to ever forget about your legacy, all your accomplishments, and everything that you gave to the game in all your years. I just don't want anyone to ever forget about what you did. So this is my, contribution to paying homage to your legacy. And two, I promote a lot of current athletes, now in high school and college and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Promoting them, bridging the gap between high school, college, promoting them and stuff like that. So this serves as a form of education for these younger guys that are playing so that they know who paved the way and the guys that came before them that they need to pay homage to as well, especially, here in the city of Philadelphia, man. So thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for your time. I know time is valuable. And just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, and listen, I'm glad you had me on here because lately I've been reaching back, since pretty much since I got out of college up until present date. I just been reaching back to kids in the inner city, especially from where my neighborhood where I grew up and the surrounding areas. And then it just turned into a thing where I'm starting to deal with kids outside of my state. But what I do is, man, I try to bridge that gap myself and tell them that, like, all right, yeah, all of this stuff you're doing now, it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
You put it on Instagram, you look like a star, but in reality, dude, you're not that good. So
no doubt,
I'm gonna try to help you become what I think you want to be.
No doubt.
Some of them get it, most of them get it, but they don't realize the type of work that you really have to put in to be an elite athlete on any level. So, I mean, it's just always a refresher course whenever I deal with a kid. And this right here is just gonna bring it all together.
100%. Listen, we gonna have some fun. My style of interviewing, we definitely gonna have some fun tonight, man. And I'm sure if you any like anything like all the others, like Donnie Carl, them guys have impeccable memories, man. Great storytelling. So hopefully, I'm sure you just like them all, can recall everything, man. We're gonna have a good time, man.
Yeah.
Hey, one other thing, Instagram only gives us hour blocks of time to talk. So if we come into the first hour, we'll just close out. I'll just close this one, save it, and then we'll just, pick right back up.
No problem.
All right, so we're going to do something fun real quick, just to kind of get us warmed up. Thing I call 10 random questions. I'm going to just shoot 10 things at you real quick, just to get you smiling and, get you in tune, ready for the interview, all right?
That's cool.
All right, so you my era, 80s baby, growing up in 80s cartoons and, TV shows and all that.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite TV shows growing up?
Three's Company.
Three's Company?
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
That was one of my joints. That's definitely one of them. Go ahead, next one.
No doubt. Most points you ever scored in the game at any level, like summer league, college, pro, anything.
87.
Wait, what?
87.
Why I think with the
When and where? When and where?
I played in the league out competitive edge.
Yeah.
And I think I had like 35 going into like the second. And the guy bet me to get the head coach of West Town. He said,
Whoa, Burger, Coach
yes,
Burger.
Seth Berger. He said, I bet you can't get 50. I said, nah, I can get more than that. And I just start bombing away, shooting all these threes. I wound up like 87 points, man. It was crazy.
Yo, crazy.
But I had like 15 dimes too.
Oh, now see,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. We're gonna talk more about that. I appreciate that. Everything you ever did, correct me if I'm wrong, was well-rounded. It wasn't just dominant in one area. You know, I don't want to tell you a story, but you know, one of your accomplishments at St. Joe's was, you know, over 1,000 points in your career and over 500 dimes. So I mean, the complete package, man. You know what I'm saying?
That was part of my my education or my grooming as a basketball player. You know, I saw like Randy Woods, I saw Pooh Richardson a little bit. So those guys, like Randy was different. Randy was more like a modern day point guard.
Gotcha.
But everyone else back then, they really ran the show, knew how to get theirs a little bit, but got everyone else involved. So that was kind of like my grooming. And that came from the Sunny Hill League with Claude Gross, who really made me see that, look, you got to get off the ball. And I'm like,
100%.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a learned thing, I should say. You have to learn to do that. And you have to appreciate to do that.
Gotcha. One of your favorite sports-related movies coming up? Any sports-related movie, like from Blue Chips, all that kind of stuff?
Sports-related movies, I would say Above the Rim.
Above the Rim.
Yeah, Above the Rim.
No doubt.
Yeah.
City of Brotherly Love, you know, cheesesteaks, you know, you go to your favorite cheesesteak spot. How do you order? When Rashid Bey is at the cheesesteak spot, how do you order your cheesesteak?
So we got Geno's down in South Philly. I'm going to Geno's. You say everything, what do you say? Everything with? Yeah. With onions. So like, whiz with. There you go. My brother.
Whiz with.
Yeah, Pats. That's my bad. Pats. You say whiz with. Yeah.
And that's just with everything on it. With everything on it.
Yeah, they put the onions on there. They put the peppers, and they put the cheese on there, and then you out of there. So it's
no doubt.
That's how I basically gained a lot of weight too.
No doubt. Who are some of the players, like either amongst like your peers or a few years ahead of your time? You kind of mentioned a few. Some guys you looked up to and kind of admired, you know, coming up in the area.
I got to start in the neighborhood. There was many guys that were better than me. So I mentioned a guy named Orby Green. He's Nate Blackwell's nephew. He really got me involved with basketball. We had another guy down here named Seymour. We had another guy, Sugar Hill. He went to Roman. We had Stinky Nars. He went to Roman. So these guys, I saw them playing. I'm like, dang, these guys are good. So I had to pay homage to them. Then you start branching off. You say Reds. I thought he was really a great point guard in the high school level. And that was one of the guys that I really looked at because we were like relatively the same height at the time.
Okay. And just to put in perspective, how tall are you so the viewers know?
I'm 5'11".
5'11". Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
So I'm at that time, Rez and I were probably the same height.
Okay.
I think probably like 5'8", something like that.
Got you.
And he was just, to me, I was like, damn, this guy's really good. So I always wanted to play with him or play against him.
Got you.
And I finally got that chance, but he was tough.
Got you. What was some? I'm always curious to know. People are always curious to know. You know, you talk about the dual athletes, three sport athletes. What other sports did you play coming up besides basketball, if you did any?
Yeah. So I was like almost an All-American at football at Glen Mills.
Wait a minute. Where are you?
Yeah. I was big time. I was getting recruited. I was getting recruited heavy as a sophomore for football. I played lacrosse. And I was really good at baseball. I played volleyball. I was okay, and I ran track.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
so
what sports? So you just competed when you was at the Mills? You was just competed in football and basketball. That was it?
No, football, basketball, lacrosse, volleyball.
Any powerlifting, weightlifting, track and field?
No. Dude, I was like 130. I couldn't lift anyway.
Oh, no,
I barely could do push-ups when I got up there.
no doubt. I know the Mills had it all. The Mills had everything.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's dope, man. I did not know it. I'm glad I asked that question, man. Who's the toughest player you think you had to guard at any level? Summer leagues, college, high school, anything?
Wow. There's a guy at Fordham. His name is Bevan Robbins.
Bevan Robbins.
This dude he was under the radar, but to me, he was the toughest dude I had to guard on any level. And you know, when you become a pro, everybody's tough to pick yourself up. I'm saying like somebody who really who I had to work every time I played against. He went to Fordham. He was like 6'1", 6'2". He was big. He was strong. He could dribble. I was like, damn, this dude is underrated.
And where was he from? What part of the country was he from?
He's from New York.
Oh, from NY.
Yeah. I think after college he wound up doing like some and1 stuff. He had a nice run with and1. So
Got you.
But I thought he was like, damn.
Yeah. So I'm sure if I check his history in New York high school and all, he would definitely be known.
Yeah. He was a tough assignment for me.
Gosh, no doubt. No doubt. Your favorite Neumann players of all time. Some of your personal favorites.
Right off the top, I'm gonna say Scoop. I'm gonna say Earl Pettis, Tabby, the Fowler brothers.
Okay.
They were tough.
What era was that? What era was that?
That was right after me.
Like 95, 96?
Yeah, they were like 96, 97. They
Okay.
were the same year as Sewell. And we had a guy down here who I thought was better than probably most talented that came out of Neumann was a guy named Rashid Middleton. This dude.
I remember him. I definitely remember him.
I thought he was going to do big things.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to help him as much as I can, but you know, you start getting involved with college, you got to go your own way. But I thought he had a really bright future. But those guys right there, they really caught my eye. And there's another guy named Jamal something. Like 6'5", 6'6".
Jamal Wilson.
Yes.
Jamal Wilson, yeah.
Yes.
Jamal Wilson, yeah. I know him because he's my young boy. He's from out Norristown.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Jamal Wilson. Yeah, Jamal was tough, real tough.
Yeah, he was tough. And of course, Dion, like that goes unsaid.
For sure.
He didn't go to Neumann, so we talking about Neumann players. I'm talking about that. Jamal, to me, I thought he was like.
And he went to Rhode Island, right?
Rhode Island.
Yep.
Struggled all the way into his senior year. Senior year, he had a great senior year.
Uh-huh.
I think he's still playing overseas to date. So these guys caught my eye. I'm like, damn, look at these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are good. Yeah,
for sure.
Nice. Yeah.
One of your favorite NBA players coming up, whether it's a guard.
Coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. We gotta say Isaiah Thomas. All right. I try to model my game after him, work on my ball handling. To the point that my grandparents and my parents were like, look, stop dribbling that damn ball. You know? So I wanted my handle to be tight, and he was a shorter guy. He's a little taller than me in reality, but seeing him on television doing the things he was doing, I tried to do that. Tim Hardaway.
I could definitely see Tim Hardaway. Yeah, for sure.
But my all-time guy, but he's not in the league, but in high school was Chris Jackson. Became Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
Gotcha.
This dude, I was like, yo, nobody can stop this guy.
For sure.
As well as Kenny Anderson. Kenny Anderson. Yeah, they were my guys. So just relatively smaller guards that just had a lot of game. Damn, that's tough. So I tried to mimic that.
Got you. Last question of the 10 random questions. Were you paying attention to the Last Dance series at all?
The what?
The Last Dance series about the Bulls, Chicago Bulls.
Oh yeah. I watched I watched it in its entirety. Yeah.
Yeah. What's something that stuck out to you that was either interesting, something that you learned that you didn't know prior, or anything?
I didn't know Michael Jordan was such a tough guy to be around and to play with.
Gotcha.
It didn't seem like everyone respected him on his team, but it didn't seem like they really cared for him.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And in today's world, he would be a bully.
No, 100%.
A lot of that stuff.
I seen the one, John, when they was giving out the tickets to the families and stuff. They going to him to see how many tickets they can get. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. He was. I mean, I guess he had that gene. You know what I mean? That alpha gene, and he just took it to another level, like the way he tried to drive his players. I mean, it worked. We're talking about him today, and his sneakers and all of that is still doing what they do.
No doubt.
I didn't know he was such a bully, basically.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Well, hey, I appreciate us just being able to warm up, man. So if you can, man, one of the things with the legends, you know, individuals like yourself, I definitely respect your voice, you know, and I'm on edge just listening to everything that you have to say, and I don't want to get in your way of telling your story. So obviously, I have some questions prepared, but I'm gonna just give you the freedom just to tell your story. So if you can, man, just go and do your thing, and I'll interject whenever I need to. But just start by the way of just reintroducing yourself to the people, man, and just letting us know where the Rashid Bey story begins, and just start a stage.
Yeah, Rashid Bey, class of '94 at Neumann, class of '98 at St. Joe's, 10 plus years in Europe. So my story starts like most inner city kids. I'm running around. I'm standing on the corner. I'm going to the park. I'm just trying to figure it out, right? I run into this guy. He's like 2-3 years older than me. I mentioned his name earlier, Aubrey Green. He's dribbling the basketball. And they called him Gus. And I'm like, I ain't calling this guy Gus. Like, his name Aubrey. So they called him Gus because they say he played like Gus Williams. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So he like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, nah. He's like, come on, man, let's go to the courts. Go to the courts. He's like, let's play one-on-one. This man is killing me for like an hour outside. I'm like, so I'm trying to get it together, but he's like, man, you could be good. So I'm like, really? I didn't make any. I don't think I did anything. You won every game. And he just like, look, just come with me every day to the courts, and that just started it. It got in my blood. I don't know if it was just basketball, if it was just the competition and wanting to get back at him. Like, I gotta beat this guy. And I tried to get better. It wasn't like today. No one would come and work me out. No one would. It was just like, take your ball, go to the court. Try to make a left-hand layup. Try to make a right-hand layup. Work on your
so it wasn't like today where you got the trainers. Y'all doing
he
wasn't pulling out the cones and all that.
No. I had none of that. So he started me off, and then I started playing with guys that were like exactly in my grade. And I wasn't the best, but I liked it, right?
Gotcha.
So, again, I'm going around. Now, I'm not a basketball player, though. I'm running around in the streets a little bit here. Like,
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to, like I said, I was just trying to figure it out. And people started noticing, like, oh, you're pretty athletic.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. What does that mean? So it took older guys to point me in the right direction. Like, stick with it, man. You can do it. So we had some guys in South Philly. They used to play at like it was called Lander Schoolyard. It's like a legendary schoolyard. You might see all kind of Earl of Pearl might be down there one day.
Yeah.
These guys was just coming down, so you would get to see these guys play. And then like when they have a little intermission, we would get on the court and play around, and they would like try to encourage us. And then it turned into me getting into a league.
Okay.
So I get into a league.
And around what age was this, or what year?
This is around probably 11 years old.
Okay.
11
so one of your
old.
first experiences with a league.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I didn't get a second. Because no one knew me, right? They knew me, but they didn't know me as a basketball player.
As a basketball player, gotcha.
So, of course, I quit, right? I ain't going back to that. This guy even put me in the game. Probably a year goes by, and then I try out for a winter league. Right?
Okay.
It was a league they had in the basketball court at my middle school.
Okay.
Bear Middle School. Go down there at night, start at 7 o'clock and go to 9:30. They line you up on the wall, count to 5. As you get to 5, go all the way down.
No doubt.
All at once, step out. Boom,
no
boom,
doubt.
Boom, boom, boom.
No doubt.
So I get on the team. But the rule is everyone has to play.
That was good money. Now you get a chance to showcase.
So this helped me a lot. So then I get out there, they're like, damn, you're pretty good. I'm like, okay, I only had 6 points. They're like, dude, you're like 11 years old. You got 6 points. That's not bad.
No doubt.
I'm like, all right. So I'm sticking with it. You know, they coming around, talking to my family, telling me like, hey, can he get in this league, that league? The YMCA had a league. Boom, 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 boom. I get in the YMCA. This is the big league now. This is like, all right, you play here. Because back in the day, all the Ys used to have a team, and they would play against each other throughout the city. So if you can make the Y team and do well, you can go on a traveling team. Right?
Of course.
I didn't do well.
Gotcha.
Right? I didn't do well, but I was out there. I got a chance to play with guys who are a little older, who are a lot better. And again, like the competitive nature that I had inside of me that I didn't really know what it was. I was just like, I was mad because I wanted to get even. So that turned into me like working on my game. I'm like, all right, what do I have to do? They're like, well, work on your left hand, work on your right hand. No one got on the court with you now. They give you verbal instructions. That's it. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff that we're doing now, no, come on, man, that's too much. So just a lot of verbal instructions, a lot of encouragement from guys who played high school and college ball. So the best player in my neighborhood was Kareem Towns. That was generally in my age group. He was a bit older than me, but he lived 3 blocks from my house. Maybe 2.5, if really, right? So I would go around there with him to sit around, and he would do dribbling drills. So I would steal those drills. Like, damn, he's doing a lot of stuff with one hand. I'm like, all right, I gotta get that.
Yo,
and
listen, talk about a heck of a sparring partner, dog.
Yes.
I mean, you can't get no better than that.
No, I mean, this guy, and plus at this time, this guy is like, he in 8th grade, but he getting like 50s and 60s. So he's like, he went to Thomas, and his name was just ringing. Like, yo, he the next one. So I'm around there with him. I'm trying to pick up little stuff, but he's like, at this time, he's telling me like, man, you always running around in the streets. You don't like to play ball, man. You got to get out of here. Like, so.
Got you.
I'm going back and forth with him. You know, I'm getting older. Then I get older.
So you were still on the fence. You were still on the fence.
I'm definitely on the fence. No, I'm not even on the fence. I'm on the left side.
I got you. So you was definitely heavily on the left side still.
Yeah, I'm on the left side, come to the right side for a couple hours a day.
I got you. You was just tapping in. And then,
yeah, because again, I liked it, but I didn't know much about it. I'm just trying to learn on the fly. You know what I mean?
I understand.
And, you know, time goes by. I didn't really do anything. Now we like 13, right? Now, from 11 to 13, I didn't accumulate it. Meaning that people thought I was a guy who just wanted to be in the streets.
Okay.
So 12, I turned 13. I'm like, I'm going to play in the league again. Bear had the league. I go down there. I'm doing everything under the sun. They like, you got to get out of here. You can't play. So I talked to the man who put the lead up. His name was Mr. Leroy. Drove for Scepter. He would donate his time at night. I said, Mr. Leroy, he told me I can't play. He said, no, you can play. This league is for everyone. He said, this is the objective of the league, to get kids off the streets. And like,
of course. You don't want to turn you away and push you back out there.
Right. So he came down there and he kind of like went nuts on all of the coaches and told them what the league was about. So they put me on the team, and I had a great year.
Okay.
I started turning up because I got better. I got stronger. You know, you run the streets, you jumping fences and all that kind of stuff.
Course.
Your body gets hard.
Doing backflips and all that. Yeah,
break dancing and all that crazy stuff. Jumping roofs. So my body's gotten stronger, and I noticed that I was faster and can jump higher than everyone.
Just through natural calisthenics, just like you said, just doing natural stuff.
Exactly. You know, no weightlifting. Again,
of course.
I'm a buck something, so I'm not doing too much. And I had a great league, and Mr. Leroy talked to me. He said, man, you could do something. He said, I saw a lot of, he said, Rad played in this league. At your age, he wasn't as athletic, but he could score better than you, but you got something. Yeah. So he really pushed that and put that in my head. Now that I turned 14, I get in trouble. But
hey, pause real quick. Hold that thought real quick. So you say you turn 14, got in trouble. I want to know real quick, like, okay, you have a mentor, an older individual letting you know at that point they see your potential. Yeah. What did you do? How did you internalize that message? And what did that do for you? Like hearing someone kind of speak life into you like that. Like, what did that do for you? Yeah. And did you notice a change in yourself as far as your confidence or anything?
Well, my confidence definitely skyrocketed.
Okay.
Because I know that Mr. Leroy had been running that league for like 15 years.
Gotcha.
So he saw Nate Blackwell. He saw these guys that in my community we considered them legends. So for him to even say that about me, I'm like, damn. But I'm only with Mr. Leroy for 2 nights out of the week for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
The rest of the week, I'm running wild. You know what I mean?
Almost like that tug of war. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That Mr. Leroy's tugging you this direction, but the other 5 days, that's a big pull.
Yeah, so just not having enough time one-to-one with somebody like that. I mean, my family was telling me stuff.
Of course.
But you know how kids are with their family, just gonna rebel sometimes. Or just turn your ears off, kind of like. So again, now I'm turning 14. I'm running around crazy. I get in trouble.
Okay.
I got in trouble 5 times.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm going to court.
Like trouble, like charges trouble.
Yeah, I'm arrested.
Juvenile court and everything.
yeah, I'm arrested.
Yeah.
So I'm going to court every day, pretty much every other week. So a lot of things they got dismissed, and it came down to my last charge. I think it was a stolen car, which I didn't steal. Now all the other stuff, I'm gonna tell you, I did it.
No doubt. No doubt.
But this right here, a stolen car, I'm like, no, I don't even know how to steal cars. I got arrested for that.
Wow.
So I'm going to court for that, and my mother says, she stands up. I'm thinking I'm ready to get out of here. I'm like, I'm getting off of this. She stands up and she says, I can't control him. I need y'all to do something with him.
And you know, in juvenile court, that's like,
yeah,
like to the DA, to the probation officer, to the judge. That's music to their ears.
Yeah. So she drops that on me, and I look at her like, what you just say? They're like, okay. So I get committed to the courts, and I'm down in like, they got a little holding cell down in there. But down in the holding cell, there's adults down there and everything. So they like, you come in there, everybody screaming at you,
oh, loud, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, what's it called? Scared straight? Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm going through a scared straight. I'm looking at her like, man, get out my face. Like, all I can think about is what my mother did when I went to court. So I'm like, yo, I can't believe she did that. Next thing you know, I'm in the system, man. And I go to Youth Study Center.
Okay.
So I'm there. I'm thinking I'm going to get out. They like, no, you're probably going to get out. Didn't get out.
And how long were you there? How long were you there at the Youth Studies?
I probably was there like 7 months.
Wow, that's a nice little stretch.
Yeah, that's a nice
for a young kid, for a 14-year-old being. Was that your first time away from home for that long period of time?
For sure. I mean, I went to some camps. My mother used to send us remember Camp William Penn?
Sound familiar? Yeah, sound familiar. Yep.
So it was a citywide camp that you could go to camp for like a week or something like that.
Like summer camp, like real camping in woods and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
So I used to do stuff like that, and that was the extent of like, or if I took a family trip somewhere. I went to different places, but
not 7 months.
Not for 6 months. Like, no, I never did that. So I'm up there. They're like, you're gonna get out, but in there, I'm playing against all these guys from different parts of the city. So I'm like, damn, this guy's good. This guy's good. So I'm like, all right, now I'm competing in there. So some of the counselors are like, yo, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? So they would let me stay down on the court when everyone else had to go back up. They're like, no, you can stay down here. So they would pick certain guys, make us play one-on-one.
Gotcha.
Like, all right, this is kind of cool. So I started noticing that, like, I can play a little bit. I go somewhere else. The next thing you know, I'm at Glen Mills. I'm like, what?
Wow. Oh, wait. So what happened in between Youth Studies and then Glen Mills?
So I went to this place, like, it's called JJC. JJC had different locations throughout the city. One of the locations was 58th and Thomas.
Okay.
They had a JJC home. It was like a group home. I guess that's like a place when they're trying to figure out what to do with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then they also they assess your intellectual capabilities, your mental state, things like that. So at JJC they had a court in the back. So they used to take me out in the back. So the staff was like, yo, you can play.
Got you.
So I'm like, all right. So now I'm starting to hear it more and
more. Got
from
you.
different people around the city. So my name started like kind of getting out there just from them people. Like, yo, it's this young boy up here, man. And my family name, you know, we have a huge family. Like, hey man, they got this kid. He a Bay, man. He could play ball. So I'm like, all right, it's getting.
And that's back when, you know, before social media, all that word of mouth would travel like crazy.
Word of mouth. It definitely. If you couldn't play, nobody would mention you. So
of course,
like, social media makes you think everybody can play.
Exactly.
I see some of these highlight tapes. I'm like, damn, this kid is good. I go watch him play. I'm like, that's the same kid.
Exactly.
So yeah, they definitely running some type of game out here with social media. So from JJC, man, I go to Glen Mills. I'm sick. I'm like, yo, I can't believe this is happening. Like, get up there. My first day is like, what the hell? What kind of place is
Hey,
this?
shout out! I know a little bit about the Mills. Who was you with? Van Buren, Polk Hall.
So my first one was Tyler Hall.
Tyler Hall. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tyler and Polk were closest to the administration building.
It was Hayes Hall. I know them
Yeah.
all.
So when I got to Tyler, that was like crazy. They told me all this stuff about sports. Like, yeah, you can't play sports. They came right at me. Like, what are you good at? I'm like, they said I can play ball a little bit. They're like, you can play ball. We never heard of you. What high school you went to? I'm like, I went to South Philly High. They're like, nah, we only heard of Kareem Towns. We never heard of you. Jay Myers, who are you? Like, you can't play. You can't make our team. We back-to-back state champions. I'm like, yeah, all right.
No
I
doubt.
can make the team. They're like, okay.
And you were 14 still or 15?
I was 14.
And what grade was that? 9th grade or 10th?
Yeah. Well, that was the summer of my 9th grade, and in that fall, I went into my 10th grade year.
Got you. Okay.
So when I'm there, you have to go through a process before you can go and they call it activities. So I wasn't able to do that for a while, right?
Okay.
When they finally took me down there, one of the staff members was like, you always say you can play ball. I'm going to see what you got.
No doubt.
So on the basketball court at any given time, there's 200 kids.
Yeah.
So you got 200 kids playing pickup 5-on-5 or 3-on-3s on like 7 courts.
In every direction, yeah.
In every direction, crazy. So at the end, they keep score, and the best teams get to play on the main court.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they came to the main court, the staff member said, hold up. Come on. Get your sneakers on. Go out there. Put him on the team. So it was some dudes out there. He started picking dudes out the crowd like, no, come down. These were the guys who played on the team.
Okay.
So I'm like, why are you picking them? He was like, because they on the team. You said you could play. You're going to have to play against them.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? It's
of
right
course.
at you.
Yep.
There's none of this coddling stuff that's going on out here.
They was right at
you.
you.
You got to team up with him. Oh, no, I don't want my son to play. They threw you right in the mix.
They threw you right in the fire.
Listen, I'm in the fire. I'm burning too. I'm like, oh, all right. So all the staff and all of the students in the gym, it's like, again, like 200-something kids in there, they sit down.
Okay. Wow.
And watch.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. This turned into something.
Yeah. So I get out there. First, I'm nervous. I'm like, yo. Then I started playing. I turn up. Killing these boys on the team. The dudes stop it like, hold up. Time out. Come here. This is the coach. The coach standing there like, where you come from? I was like, I come from South Philly High. Like, you played? I'm like, nah, I never went to school. I didn't go to school long enough to be able to go play for the team. Like, all right, take your name and give it to the coach. He was an assistant. So we get back out there, we playing. We ran the court. And that's the first time I saw a 7-footer in person. These guys, look at these big guys.
And the Mills, that was the thing where, they were getting guys from all across Texas, California. If you got in trouble, you had to go to placement. They sent you to Glen Mills. And if you was an athlete, they sent you to Glen Mills. You know what I mean? For sure.
And then, and again, you got to remember, I'm like 140 pounds, 35 pounds.
You was a little string bean.
Yeah, I'm like, that's where I get the nickname Noodles, because I was always so skinny.
Got you.
So I get up there, and this is going on and on and on. But I had to get off of this. It's something like, it's called concern. That means you're a concern for the staff that you might do anything of it.
I'm familiar. Yep, I know that. Yep. So you wasn't in the Bulls Club. You was none of that.
Nah. So the way that I get off concerned, the head coach ran a workout. His name is Tom Mann. He ran a workout for all the players, and I got invited.
Okay.
So I go down there. I'm turning up.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping dimes. I see Turk in there. I'm like, yo, look how big this is. On steroids or so? What's going on?
Turk was there.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Championship team. That's right.
Turk graduated from Glen Mills.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Right? So he in there. We got this other boy named Travis from DC. We got this other boy named Lonzo. All these boys giants. I'm like, damn, I had to come.
Lonzo Goldstone.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that name. Yep.
But he was only up there because he just came back and he was working for the summer. They had a little program, something like that.
You can come back as an upperclassman and ways.
Yeah, all that. crazy stuff. Yeah. So I'm up there playing with all these guys, and then it just turned into a thing like, yo, we got this new guy. He the next Frank Allen. So I start hearing about this guy, Frank Allen. I'm like, who the hell is Frank Allen? So we up there balling. Then the season about to start. We about to start practicing. Guess who walk in the gym? Frank Allen.
Wow.
So they're like, yeah, we want you to go against him. So I'm going against him. I'm like, yo, this boy a grown man. Like, bro,
Crazy.
I'm a kid. I'm like,
listen. And that's the difference. We'll talk more about that later. But that's the difference in then opposed to now. Now they got, you're doing AAU. You playing 17U. You playing against your age. Back then, there was no such thing as playing against guys only your age. You played against grown men, or you didn't come to the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's just how that's how you got your stripes, basically.
100%.
You gotta play, because like if they're playing pickup, you might have a guy from college, you might have a guy who's trying out for the NBA, you might have a guy who so it's players from the whole spectrum of basketball. Like you gonna get the worst guy to like some really top guys.
And you ain't know that. You was just trying to get on the court. That was it.
I'm just trying to get on the court. I'm like, so what grade he in? Like, nah, he in college. I think he went to college or something.
Exactly.
He in college. Now he giving me work, but I'm giving him work too.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because he had his grown man strength on. So he was like moving me and moving. He can handle the ball. He was good. So I'm like, damn. But he was like, nah, young boy, good. He was like, young boy, good. So
get your props.
They started seeing like the potential. You know what I mean? But
would you consider yourself a good way to help a descriptive word for basketball? People use the word raw. Like, were you raw, or did you have like some, were you sharp in some areas, or what?
So I had great vision because I played football.
Got you. Makes sense.
I played every position in football. I never came off the field. Right?
Okay.
Only thing I didn't play was quarterback. I couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm playing receiver. I'm playing defensive back, corner, safety. I'm all over the field.
Yeah. So you were laterally quick, and great vision.
And my vision was like I can see things like, all right, he's coming from right here. I got to make this cut. And that's what really helped my ball handling. I was able to cut on a dime from running those routes and all that.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So I built up different muscles by playing football. Especially in my lower body. They're like, damn, you're skinny, but dude, you're strong. I don't know what. Like, all that crashing into people, it definitely
reminds me of Allen Iverson, because that's the same qualities as AI, because he was a All-American football player as well. Same thing you're talking about.
Yeah, LeBron as well.
Exactly. Yep.
A lot of guys who do that. So I learned a lot from playing different sports, but yeah, I was raw. And they helped me stay on task, or like on the path with basketball, because I really wanted to just get on that football field.
Got you.
So I was trying to really play basketball just to shut the staff up. Like, this guy saying I can't make the team. I'll make the team. But I really was eyeing up that football team. So I'm like, so like now I'm starting to get a name like, damn, this guy can play all sports. So next thing you know, I got a lacrosse stick in my hand. I'm like, well, what do I do with this?
No doubt.
I'm from the inner city. Like, I don't know how to play lacrosse.
No doubt.
The head coach said, "You gonna learn. You can learn." And he took me out there for like a week. Next thing you know, I was kind of decent. I think I had some D2 looks in like lacrosse.
Are you wait? Are you serious, bro?
Yeah, I had all kind of trophies, bro.
Yo, that's insane, dog. That's crazy, man. So you was just pretty much one of those individuals that, put you around it, you could absorb it, you could figure it out, and then just through your natural athleticism, just like you said, you were going to shine regardless.
Yeah, like and not just the athleticism. I think it was the competitiveness.
I got you.
To not be bad at something. I think you need that.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why a lot of athletes, who, especially high-level athletes who transition into business, they're so competitive. They know how to get in there and like find a way or find a lane for themselves. So that athletic competitiveness, that was definitely put in me and instilled in me in my neighborhood, South Philly, like this, because it's so small down here. Anything you get down here, you definitely earned it.
No doubt.
no one's giving you anything.
No doubt. For sure.
You definitely gotta make your own way down here. So, and I just carried on into football and lacrosse and then baseball. They even tried me on tennis. And the tennis, we had a tennis coach from the Bahamas. He take me to this thing. We going off campus. I'm like, well, where are we going? He's like, I ain't want to go to the tennis court. I'm like, I don't know how to play tennis.
Uh-huh.
He was like, nah, let's just have fun, try it out.
Of
So
course.
he's like hitting the ball. I'm like, I'm getting to the ball. I'm hitting it. He's like, yo, you could be really good at this game.
No doubt.
I'm like, nah, bro, this is too much work. I'm tired. He had me running all across, like back and forth. I'm like, nah, that's one thing I really didn't I never gave that a try. Like,
Got you.
Other things, man, I tried to push through and try to make myself as best I could with my own talent, my own ability. You know
what are some of your? Well, first, I want you to tell me about, just kind of describe your Glen Mills career. Just tell me about some some of the big games, memorable experiences playing ball. But before that, though, put in perspective, help the younger generation understand what type of player were you, like when you started to get in your groove and all that.
Yeah.
What were some of your strengths on the court? You mentioned your vision. Or what type of player were you back then?
Back then, especially in high school, I was more of a playmaker, right? My ball handling, my speed, and my vision, it just came natural to me. That's nothing I never worked on.
Okay.
Right? I worked on stuff with Kareem Towns and other little guys around the neighborhood, Seymour, Aubrey, and different guys. But I never worked on my vision and driving and trying to penetrate.
Okay.
So I would get to the basket probably every play.
Okay.
So it's not like now where everybody gets out your way and you can just lay the ball up. Back then,
no doubt.
The big man was told, or the forward was told, step over, knock him down, or like leave your man and go. So as soon as I would see him leave, I would just dump it off.
Just dish it off. Yep.
Yeah, that was something that I had naturally. Like it was just something like innate. You know what I'm saying? And I had to develop my jump shot, which took a long time, and I think that's still the hardest skill to acquire. That's why a lot of basketball players can't shoot, because it takes so long to develop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like to put that kind of work in. And you can get frustrated because you start seeing that I'm missing a lot. So that's frustrating.
Yeah.
So I just started working on my layups.
Okay.
Because somebody told me, if you can finish in traffic at a high rate, you're going to be a high level basketball player, especially as a point guard. So I'm like, all right, how do I start finishing at a high rate? So this man used to make me run layups, like 50 layups every day, full court, nonstop. Can you imagine? I'm so skinny, my legs used to hurt. And he was like, no, you got to jump every time. He's telling me
how to be explosive every time,
and how to go off 2 feet.
Yep.
I was a 1 foot jumper. I dunked in like 8th grade, so I was already a good athlete. I knew I could dunk the ball. They're like, nah, if you jump off 1 foot, you're going to get knocked out of the air. So I'm like, what do you mean? That's a foul. He was like, no. They just bigger than you, so they're going to, when they jump and you bump into something that's bigger and stronger, you're automatically going to fall. So they taught me how to go off 2 feet. They taught me how to, like, once I get into traffic, how to keep my head up, because I used to dip my head down.
Gotcha.
Because I was thinking, like, this guy's gonna hurt me. So it was just, that was my learning curve. I got better at it when I became when I predominantly started focusing on one sport.
Gotcha.
So when I quit football, I think I just like, all right, I'm gonna just try to get better at basketball. Because there was people telling me that I couldn't go Division I.
Okay.
You're not D1. I'm like, what? Like I'm oblivious. I say, what's D1? They're like, yeah, that's Division I. That's Temple. That's this. That's that. So I'm not even watching basketball at this time.
Got you.
So they turned me on like, yeah, every Saturday and Sunday, turn to CBS. You can watch some games. So I'm like,
the highest level.
All right. So I started tuning into that kind of stuff and watching. I'm like, damn, these guys are good. So I was still a little stuck that I hear the commentary. I would listen to the commentary real close. And the commentators used to say things like, that was a great pass. What was his name? Al McGuire. Al McGuire was like, he was real detailed in his commentary. Like, hey, all you young kids out there, you need to make this pass. You need to do that. So I would listen to that.
Gotcha.
I'm like, damn, I got to start doing that.
Of course.
That's basically how I got my game together.
Okay.
From watching, like I had a little bit of instruction and just trying to go out there and just figure it out. Like, You know what I mean?
Got
Like,
you. Got you.
not doing all the skills and drills. I'm like, bro, you gotta play basketball.
Just playing. Just playing.
Yeah.
Just playing.
Don't try
Yep.
to do all this stuff and come on the court and then think you James Harden. Like, come on, man. His
You know,
job is
one of the things
basketball.
that irks me, man, nothing against the new generation, but when I see kids practicing the step backs and all that, I'm like, oh, boy.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, he doing pro moves. I'm like, yeah, but he needs to do amateur moves. You gotta be a good amateur to be
I can dig it.
before you become a pro.
Hey, so tell me, so go into tell me all the details, just anything you want to break down about your Glen. And how long were you at the Mills? How many seasons did you play there? Just one?
No, I played 2.
2 seasons at the Mills?
Played
all right.
2 seasons. So
yeah, just take us through that. Any any big games, memories, accomplishments, anything.
So at Glen Mills, they had something like all county teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Glen Mills has a newspaper.
Yes.
That's ran by the students. So they would write
the battling bulletin, right?
The battling bull.
The battling bull, yeah.
The bulletin or something like that?
I think the battling bulletin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So in there they would have like sports stuff. So they would have like all county team, all this, all state, all these. So I'm like, damn, I get to looking in there and I see Turk. Believe it or not, Turk was always in the library.
Gotcha.
Always. I'm like, this guy's always in the library.
Uh-huh.
So he would be looking at stuff and like, man, what are you looking at?
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah, I'm trying to see what my name is in the like in the county, in the state, and in the area, right?
And then this was before ESPN top rankings.
Yeah.
And
All we had was Streets and Smith.
Yeah, you get your name in Street and Smith or in any type of publication. That was major.
Yes. So we look at Streets and Smith. So they told me how to go through the magazine. I'm like, so what am I looking at? I see all these names. I don't know who these people are.
Uh-huh.
Like, yo, this is a nationally. Yeah, that was later on. They like, these guys are all from around the country.
Mm-hmm.
So these are how they ranked them. I'm like, damn. So how you get ranked?
Right? Yeah. Right? I mean, those are great questions, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
How do you get
ranked?
Yeah.
Like in football, I knew how to get ranked.
Uh-huh.
Because I was a football guy. But I'm like, how you get ranked in basketball?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, well, you got to go to camp. He was like, but you can go to camp up here. They're going to send you to camp because they trying to get you ranked.
Uh-huh.
So I see Turk name in there. He was like honorable mention. And then he started moving up. I'm like, damn, he moving up.
Mm-hmm.
Then I see a couple other dudes from Glen Mills in there. I'm like, oh, all right. But then I see Reds. I see Sean Red Smith in there. I'm like, oh, who this guy? So my coach like, yeah, this guy right here. If you play against him, that's going to tell me how good you really are. This guy is really good. I'm like, oh, all right. I think Sean Colson was in there.
Uh-huh.
I think Newt Arnold probably was in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was some names that I knew, like I was hearing before I had went up Glen Mills.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, all right, when you go to camp, you got to do this and you got to have a good season.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, all right. So I started playing against some of the dudes whose names were in this magazine. So I'm like, okay.
Like in camps or during the Glen Mills high school basketball season?
During the high school basketball season, because we played in the PIAA.
PIAA, of course, yeah.
We are 4A school, so we're a big school. We're playing against all these guys from places I never heard of. Altoona, Whitehall, Blackhall. I'm like, bro, where are we going? Like,
yes.
So we driving up into these mountains, but these guys can play. Like, so a guy in there was like Pete Lasicki.
Pete Lasicki, Pete Lasicki was the man. Penn
so
State
in there,
record holder, all kind of stuff. Jump shot out the wazoo, yeah.
It was another guy that went to Altoona High. Danny Fortune?
I believe so.
Like 6'6", 6'7", played in the league for a while when he played with the Suns. So I'm thinking Turk big. We go and play Altoona. Man, this boy was giving Turk some trouble. I'm like,
wow.
He was like, I think he was like second team All-American. He averaged like 25 and 20 his whole high school career. I'm like,
yes.
So we get on the joint. I'm like, damn, Turk, you couldn't mess with Ball. But Turk had a good game, but Ball was just different. He was different, you know what I mean? And you would run into guys like that, and then you would be able to gauge where you are on the scale. I'm like,
of course.
This guy's good. So when I started playing against those guys in different parts of the state, these kids were way bigger than inner city kids. They were more fundamentally sound. They were doing stuff that I'm like, damn, like I couldn't really get off on this ball. Trying to hit me with my cross and behind the back.
He ain't buying
These
it.
guys,
Ain't buying
these
it.
guys, and they were big guards, 6'2", 6'3", and I'm like, damn, they big boys. So now we playing in like the PIAA state championship playoffs. So we playing at Villanova. We play at the Palestra.
Yeah,
At all these
those are all the stops during the
these are the stops
at the DuPont.
Yeah.
Palestra, yep.
So we playing against guys that I never heard of, but they really good players. And I'm like, I'm playing well though. I'm getting 10, 12. They're like, yo, you played good. I'm like,
were you coming off the bench or were you starting?
At first I was coming off the bench, and then like the 5th game, they're like, man, we got to start you.
Just cut him loose.
Yeah, they started me, and then I just started. You know, I wasn't because we had other good players. We had like 4 Division I players on our team. You know who was really good on our team? Chad Johnson.
Okay.
From Ram Squad.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Erratic, they called him. That was my man. This boy was tough.
Wow.
He was tough. Yep. We had Chad. We had this other boy from up north. He was good too. Named Jamal.
Okay.
Yo, this boy, Jamal, he was short, but he could play ball, man. And he was the first dude I seen hitting all these jump shots and all that. I'm like, yo, this boy can shoot.
Yeah, like the 90s, mid-90s, late 90s, that was the golden era of Glen Mills hoops, man. Glen Mills was like, it was unstoppable, man.
Like, again, they won back-to-back state championships. They were playing all over, and they had their own television station, so we were always on television. People didn't know that in the city, though. People out in them counties and deeper up in the state, they knew, like, yo, so you had a name already, but the city just didn't know about you.
Got you.
So I came when I'm going against these guys, I'm playing against guys. Mike Tabb was a name that he had a name. Mike Tabb.
Yeah.
He went to Academy Park.
And y'all played against Chester as well, right?
Yeah, we played against Chester. They had Zane Shaw.
Yeah.
Penwood. They had Rat Curry.
Rat Curry, yeah.
Rat Curry was there before me, but we watched the videos, and I'm like, yo, who is this guy? It was like, that was Rat Curry. They was like, man, this guy is like, he going to the NBA. So I knew about Rat Curry even before I got to St. Joe's.
Gotcha.
So I knew about, and I'm like, damn, I started following. When I come back, real quick, St. Joe's playing LaSalle. I'm telling everybody from the city, like, this boy Rat Curry gonna give Rab some work. You can't mess with Rab. I'm like, man, this boy, man. Lo and behold, he gave Rab some work.
Some work, no doubt.
yeah, he was the truth. If he didn't hurt his knees, he was definitely gonna get drafted, in my opinion. He's a 6'4" point guard. You know what I'm saying? He was posting and all that. I'm like,
yeah.
So back to that, like in the state, you just like again, you getting those reps against really good coaches, really good fundamentally sound kids. So you have to change your game. It was hard for me because again, I never really learned how to play fundamental basketball. Everything I picked up was on the streets and just getting information here and there and watching television. So I didn't really know the ins and outs of it. You know what I mean? So me getting to college, again, like you said, I'm raw. I don't really know basketball. I don't know when to throw a bounce pass, chest pass. I don't know all of this stuff. I don't even know the names
because like the fundamentals wasn't your foundation.
No.
Gotcha.
No. And that was how I really started getting introduced to the state, and then that trickled down to me being known in the city from basically Neumann. So when I go to Neumann, but up at Glen Mills, we played Chester. That was a rival. We used to smack them for all of the hype that they had.
What years were they again? Was it 95?
That was 90. That was 92 and 93.
Oh, 92, 93. Wow, yeah.
So Zane Shaw was up there. He was giving out work. They had another guy.
Keith Moore.
Yeah.
Keith Moore. Yeah. Keith Moore was there, I believe, too.
Yeah, and they had another guy who was like Matt Carroll. Is that his name? Matt Carroll?
No, Matt Carroll. Matt Carroll was from a couple years later from Hatboro Horsham.
No, they had a Matt something.
Oh, a Matt something. I think there was a Matt something there.
Yeah, I think his name was Matt Carroll. He wanted to go to Florida.
I believe you're right. I gotta look at the roster. Yeah, I think you're right.
Think about that, right? So big guard, went to Fordham, had a good career.
Oh no! My man Ray Carroll.
Ray Carroll.
I'm like, Ray Carroll. Yeah. Ray Carroll. Ray was nice, super nice.
Strong, could play a
at that
little bit
time,
for
Ray
him.
was definitely one of the best in the state as well. Ray was a beast.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. So he was in the streets of Smith as well. I'm like, damn, what's this Ray Carroll guy at Chester?
100%.
Yeah, big guard, big body, could post, could shoot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He was real sound at a lot of different things.
Ray did it all, and then Tyreek Evans' brother, Pooh
Yeah.
Evans, was on the team.
Zane is his
exactly.
brother
Yep, yep.
too. So for me, Zane was like, man, this boy tough. I thought Zane, I was like, yo, this boy tough. I thought he could go to the league. But when I got to college, I saw it like, all right, he's good, but I could see the league. That's a little bit of a stretch. But he was a real good player.
What of your Glen Mills experiences? What are some of your most memorable games that'll never leave your mind? Any big games you had, memorable experiences, anything like that?
One of the big games we had was at the Palestra. So, growing up in South Philly, you always hear about the Big Five in the Palestra. Right? I never been in the Palestra, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to games at Temple in the South. That's all I knew growing up.
Yeah.
I know Simmons and Nate Blackwell.
Yeah.
So we go to the Palestra. We go in there. We come out. We walk through. It's empty. By the time the game start, we playing Plymouth White Marsh.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, maybe Plymouth White Marsh. No,
Yeah.
Council Rock.
Council Rock.
Council Rock North. They used to always have a good team. Right?
North and South. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Yo, these boys were so big and strong, and I'm like, by the time we came back out for our warm up, there's 8,000 people in this joint.
Packed to the ceiling.
I'm like, oh shit. Yo. So I get out there, the coach looking at me like, you nervous? I'm like, nah, but I am. Like,
of course.
He's like, yo, just play your game. I'm a sophomore.
I
never played in front of 8,000 people before, so I'm like, all right. He's like, just man, do what you do, man. Don't get caught up in this.
Just do what you do best. Yeah.
So I go out there, man. I had like 15 points. I probably had like 13 points. I had a bunch of dimes, a bunch of steals. I was bored. So that really like, yo, this sophomore just had 13, 7, and 5 or something like that. Like,
a nice well-rounded game. A nice well-rounded attack, for sure. Yeah.
And again, like I was always on, like, so I'm a sophomore back then. You had to wait your turn unless you were like awesome. So we had other players on the team that were probably better than me. Like at that time, they were better than me. You know what I mean? Like I said, we had Chad, we had Maul, we had Turk, we had this other boy named what was his name? Travis Evans wanted to go into Duke for football, but he played basketball. Yeah, we had some studs out there. So I had to really wait my turn, and I never really had a chance, and I never developed a gunner's mentality. Just get the ball and go. So that carried on to my Neumann days, and then my college days, and even when I played professionally in Europe. I never really jacked, bro. Like I was like, you had to have good percentages. So some of these guys, I'm like, bro, look at your percentages. Like you shot 30 times and you made like 10 of them.
Exactly.
That's not good. That's 33%, bro. Like,
exactly.
So I was more like a percentage guy. They made you like respect that when you take shots, you better try to make it.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Not just, man, let him play. Nah, that's crazy. So that was a memorable game. It was packed house. I played well, and we played against a real tough team. That game went down to the wire, and I think I made a nice pass probably to Turk or something, and he got a hand one. I did something at the end, but that really put me on the radar. Like, yo, this ball can play.
Gotcha.
Because the coaches started treating me different than up there. Like,
no doubt.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? So they were like, if you were the guy up there, you the bull, they're gonna treat you like that.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? They treated you like.
Hey, and then somebody also mentioned, I forgot to mention the name, Jordash Allen. Did Jordash play with you?
So he played with me the next year.
Oh, the following year, your junior year.
He played with me the next year. My junior year, he was a freshman.
Okay. Hey, real quick, I forgot to mention, Instagram is counting me down. We got 45 seconds. So I'm gonna end this one. I'm gonna save it. It's only gonna take me like 30 seconds or a minute, and then just jump right back on. We're gonna pick up right back right here.
I got you.
All right. Hey, listen, everybody. Y'all come right back. We got a nice audience, man. You listening to the legend speak. My man Rashid Bey. I'm gonna just save this to Instagram and come right back. We're gonna pick up where we left off. I'll see you in a second. Hey, what's up, Your boy Big Star Raw Sports, man, here with Legends Week with the legend Rashid Bey. Part two of the conversation. For everybody that's tuned in, make sure y'all stay locked in to the very end, because I forgot to mention at the top of the hour. I see Spiz on, my man Marcus Green on, little bro. We're gonna have a nice little Q&A with Rashid Bey. Let you guys, go back and forth for some dialogue. Ask Sheed any questions y'all want about his career, about his, high school legacy, college legacy, pro legacy, anything like that. All right, so everybody, make sure y'all stay tuned in. Make sure y'all stay locked in, because we're gonna have a nice little Q&A with my man at the very end. All right, we back. Hey, I forgot to mention at the top of the hour, at the very end, as soon as we, as we wrap it up, we're gonna have a nice little Q&A. I'm gonna just, let the people, ask you a couple questions.
No, that's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. I heard you
Yeah,
say Marcus Green. That was my guy.
yeah, that's my little bro, man. That's my god brother, man. St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, listen. Quick story about him. First time I saw him play, he gave Jameer the business. I'm like, yo, this boy from
Northtown.
Yeah. Then I
Yeah,
see him overseas. He was balling overseas. We played in Turkey against each other. Yep.
Listen, he just retired, dog. He's been going. Listen, he can still go, but he just finally closed that chapter of his life, dog. Like,
yeah.
Spot, that's the general, that's the Florist, the general right there, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so the last thing you was mentioning, you was talking about the playoff game down at the Palestra. You said you played great. That was your 10th grade year. Pick up from there. You were just talking about memorable experience at Glen Mills.
Yeah, that was definitely a memorable moment. You know what I'm saying? And it made me feel like, you know what? I could step up during the big time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a big moment. We needed to win that game to go to, like, I think the final 8 of the state playoffs. It was tense. It was pressurized, and it was a lot of big moments. And I made some plays, and I'm like, damn. And again, that just made me more confident in my own ability.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm from the inner city. I never played against 8,000 people in the arena. I was like,
yeah.
Bro, I came out and they screaming and hollering. So it was real intense. And as a team, as a unit, we stepped up. And again, the coaching staff and people started treating me like a little different. That's when I think I got my bull status after that. Like,
no doubt. No doubt.
Like, yeah, like, oh, we gotta give this guy hold up. We gotta get him on board. We gotta get him on track. So yeah, that was a big moment for me.
Hey, what tell me about the atmosphere back then. A lot of people don't know the traditional Glen Mills atmosphere where you got all the different dorms doing the chants and everything. Like, tell me, relive that. Tell me about the atmosphere, man, that the Glen Mills Bulls created for y'all.
Yo, that was the most. So anybody who ever been to like a Howard or any of those schools like that, Shaw, something like that, and they have like homecoming weekend.
Yes.
So that went on at every athletic event up Glen Mills.
Yes.
Music, cheering, like you're never gonna feel like the crowd is not with you. You're never gonna. Your energy is always gonna be high because you got these people pushing you. You talking about every game, every event, even on the road. They would travel well.
That's right.
It was crazy. I mean,
no doubt.
It was totally intimidating for a lot of people to come in there and play against us.
Especially at a Glen Mills home game.
Yeah, because they over top it. They on you and like they cheering. They so loud you can't hear. They have one of the best sound systems I ever heard. I'm like,
no doubt.
It's really clear in here.
No doubt.
So, they had a lot of the stuff that just inner city schools that I had been to. They just didn't have that kind of stuff. The facilities were like crazy.
Yeah.
But I know why though. They were making them $100 million off the inmates.
100%. Yeah. Right.
So they had to spend the money somewhere.
Exactly. Hey, so tell me about going to your junior year, the next year when you played with Jordan Allen at the Mills.
Yeah. So my junior year, we got these guys come in. We have Arthur Yard Davis, and we have Jordan Allen. I had a brief
so sorry to cut you off. I'm sure you're aware. Rest in peace, Jordan Allen. You know he passed away.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got if I'm not mistaken, you can actually look it up online. Wasn't he from, was it like Detroit, just somewhere way out
He's from Detroit.
Michigan or something like that?
Yeah,
I
something like
believe
that.
he got shot and killed a couple years ago. I saw it,
Wow.
just me doing my research.
Yeah,
They had a big tribute for him out there. Jordash Allen. Yep, he passed away,
yeah,
man. Yep, yep.
yeah. He was. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry to spring that on you. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. You're
that
not
was
sure.
crazy.
That you were
Now when you're
aware.
telling
Yep.
the story, you going back in your childhood, you remember things, you remember people. Always a good guy,
Mm-hmm.
real solid, real. You know what I mean? Just a thorough guy. Kind of like had
Mm-hmm.
a Philly kind of swag with him a little
Swag.
bit.
Yeah.
Little country, but I'm like,
Uh-huh.
this thorough guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he was real good. He was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now I knew Ya a little bit. I had a little interaction with him on a home pass. One time I was on a home pass and I saw him. He was playing in Barrett Playground down in South Philly.
Uh-huh.
Like his cousin, I knew his cousin. He was like, "Yeah, that's my cousin." Like, yo, young boy, tough.
Uh-huh.
In September, he was at the Glen Mills. So I saw him in June. In September, he up the Mills.
Wow.
I'm like, damn, I know this guy.
Like, yeah, I recognize his face. Yeah.
So listen, he come in there. It was like an atomic bomb.
Wow.
He talks a lot. He's loud, but he's backing it up.
Wow.
As a freshman, I'm like, yo, this boy tough. I'm calling home like, they got him on JV just because, but yo, at JV, this boy, 3/4, he got 50.
Wow.
Some games they let him go crazy, man. This boy just go crazy out there. So I'm like, oh, man, we gotta get him on varsity. But Jordash Allen was the same way. So he and Yao played JV and varsity.
Okay.
And we practicing together. So I'm taking it like I'm treating him the way they treated me. So I'm up on Jordash. I'm making him play hard. He would whine a little bit, but he was a freshman. So
Uh-huh.
I was really just like, yo, man, you got it, though. Like, come on, just keep playing. So he got
Uh-huh.
his toughness increased that year. But he also had some good moments that year. But that next year, after I had left, man, they went nuts, man.
Mm-hmm.
They went nuts. Because my junior year, that was Turk's senior year,
Okay.
right? So it was all about Turk, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like my junior year, and we went far. We probably went to the semifinals, or the Final Four, the state playoffs, and we lost. I forget who we lost to, but I had grew a couple inches. I had gained a little weight.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to get me into lifting weights and all that. I went like 4 times and like this is just too painful. I can't do it.
Yeah, got you.
But I started just developing like physically,
Mm-hmm.
because they make you do like a lot of exercise. And then you playing football, and then you doing all this stuff, and so just pushing up, and jumping and banging and all that. My body I started getting cut up, started looking different.
Mm-hmm.
So I was maturing, and I had a pretty good. I think I made like second team all area, something like that.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So I'm like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, that's the Philly, Jersey, and Delaware, or something like that. They were telling me like the tri-state area. So I think I made second team or honorable mention, something. My name was on the radar.
Of course. Yep.
And that summer I had a chance to go and play in the Sunny Hill League. Because
Okay.
Glen Mills students used to play in the Sunny Hill League.
Got you.
So I finally got a chance to go down there. Clark Gross is the coach, him and T. Shields, and a man named
I was going to ask you, so you've been from South Philly, correct?
Yeah.
So you didn't have any past experiences with Claude Gross and T and those guys.
No.
So this was their first encounter with them down to Sunny Hill.
I'm gonna tell you my first and only encounter as a young man with Claude Gross was my uncle went to a Sunny Hill practice.
Mm-hmm.
He takes me over there. I'm watching. I'm a little guy. Somehow I found some matches, and I strike the match, and like something catches on fire. Claude comes over there, grab me all in my face. I'm like, he's cursing me and all of that. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. And that was my first interaction with Claude Gross.
Nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah, he looked so big. I'm like, yo, this guy all in my face. He was so big, but it had nothing to do with basketball. He told me to get out the gym and never come back. So my junior year, I go down there, and again, not good interaction with Claude. Didn't work, so I
Gotcha.
didn't play. My senior year, of course, after Neumann, I went down and I played because I had a name. And they like, you got to play the Sunny Hill League. We're gonna put you in this tournament, that tournament. So they were pushing me because I was, I had done some nice things in the city. But my junior year at the Mills, it was like just me really like trying to figure out my body because my knees. My pop is 6'3", so I literally thought like I'm gonna be tall. So all I wanted to do was be like Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That was my guy. I'm like, Jerry Rice, I'm going to the NFL. So I wanted to be tall like him. I think he's like 6'2". Maybe a little taller. So I wanted to be like that.
Gotcha.
Pop tall, but never really happened. Everybody said, "Oh, you gonna get a growth spurt? Oh, you have a knee problem because you're about to grow."
Yeah, when the knees start hurting, they think, "Oh, you about to." Yes, it's coming, no doubt.
I ain't growing at all. Get the fuck out of here. So I was just going through that kind of transition, dealing with like knee pains and all of that kind of stuff. But it was more so that year. That was about Turk because he was about to go to LaSalle. He had already committed.
Yep.
So they was trying to get him to be to get in one of the All-Star games.
Okay.
So I remember when they came out, and the McDonald's All-American Committee, they have a list. So if you make this list, you're on their radar, and they come out and they give you a little plaque. And Turk got his jersey in front of the team. I'm like, damn, McDonald's All-American. Hold up, man, what? You that good?
No doubt.
So he was like, so I asked the guy who gave him the plaque. I'm like, is he gonna play in the game? He was like, probably not.
No doubt. But
like,
that was just an honorable mention,
like,
little shout out.
Yeah. He's like, yo, they give out like 200 or 300 of these. But
no doubt.
He's on there. He was like, yo, if he averaged like 40 something points a game, then he probably would make the game. So I was like, who would probably make it? And they were talking about the guy from Altoona that wound up making Danny Fortson. They were talking about him. He made it. I think Turk played in something though. He played in some other type of game.
Was the Dapper Dan going on still then or not?
I think so.
Because I know the Dapper Dan was still popping up in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that was big. That was before, that was like the McDonald's All-American before.
I think Turk did play in the Dapper Dan.
That's what I'm saying. That was like the McDonald's All-American game before the McDonald's All-American, up in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
I think he did play in that. If I recall correctly. I don't know. We would have to ask him. But so that junior year was all about him. You know what I mean? So I had a good year. I made a little name for myself, but at this particular time, I'm exhausted and I'm ready to get out of Glen Mills. I'm like, I'm ready to leave. You know what I mean?
So I know once how it goes when you have that last review hearing when you can leave. You can, if you're an athlete, you can stay as an upperclassman. So is that the stage you were in? You were staying there voluntarily, or you were still there from probation?
It was a forced voluntary movement.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So I'm ready to get out of there. I go see because you gotta go see your probation officer. So I go up there. He's like, yeah, how you feel? Like, I feel good. I was like, I'm ready to get out of here. So he's like, well, I think you should stay. I'm like, no, I don't think I should stay. I think I should get out of here. I'm trying to get out of here. So he's like, well, if you don't stay, I'm going to recommend that you go to another placement. I'm like,
no way.
I'm like, for what? So he and I are having like a little argument in the up in the administration building. I'm like, man, you can't. So I'm like, I really don't want to go to another placement. So I wound up staying. That's how I became a Con Ed. So, back then you don't know what's going on, but now all of this information out here, that was illegal.
100% illegal, man.
Yeah, like you did that. You know what I'm saying?
That was like that, up in Luzerne County, they had like the Kids for Cash thing. They were sending all these kids, locking them up, dumb stuff, sending them to the system. Yeah, no, that was totally illegal, man. Yeah,
it was totally illegal. Now, I didn't know that back then. All I'm thinking about, I don't want to go to another placement because I might go somewhere worse than this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to stay. I wound up staying for like probably 4 months. And then I had an incident with one of the staff because when you Con Ed, you're supposed to be able to get up and do and go and leave as you please.
You're almost like a junior staff member, kind of like executive kind of thing. You just, yeah.
So you so this guy was trying to make me do certain things. I'm like, no, I don't have to do that. So we had a little falling out. No, we had a big falling out.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that one haywire. I'm gonna just tell you like that. Like
Gotcha.
some of my family members had to come up there. My mother and a couple of other family members. I'm not gonna mention their names. And the staff talking about, oh, what he could have did to me, and they started talking about what we would have did to you if you would have did that. So they called my family and myself later that night and said, yeah, I think it's not good. I think it's best if you just like transfer out.
Time for him to be discharged.
Yeah, so that's how I got out of there. You know?
No doubt. Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. So now that I'm out, I'm playing Sunny Hill, and
this is McGonigal Hall, Sunny Hill?
This is at McGonigal at Temple.
Gotcha.
You know, legendary McGonigal Hall. I'm like, I played 3 games that year. Claude and I got into it. He kicked me off the bench, told me to give him his uniform.
Wow.
Actually said, give me my shit. That's what he said.
Wow. For real?
Oh,
You got
take
kicked
my
out the league.
uniform off. Give me my shit. So I went over there. I took my stuff off. And he was like, you can't fucking play anyway. So he killed me. But at that time, this guy is coming to the games, and he talks to Sunny Hill. So Sunny Hill says, Rashid, go talk to that man up there. There's a man up there sitting down. Go talk to him. His name is Mike Doyle. Mike Doyle got the job at Neumann.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, yeah, what do you think about Neumann? I was like, yeah, I think they're not good. Yeah, like I grew up around the corner from them. They haven't been good for a long time. Nobody talks about Neumann.
So Neumann definitely wasn't ringing bells basketball-wise.
No.
Gotcha.
No. So he was like, he laughed. He was like, oh yeah, all right. He said, I'll talk to your family. You know, I'll be seeing you. And this guy started being real persistent, like talking to my uncles and talking. And I'm like, what's up with this guy? He's like, yo, he's talking this Neumann stuff. He talking some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to hear it.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking, so Newt Arnold is my friend. Donnie Carr, we like related because family ties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Roman, FLC. Both of these teams are traveling. They're gonna go to Roman's going like Hawaii.
That's what I'm saying. They were playing national schedules. They were
so they like, look,
yeah.
I'm on their radar. Newt and them guys at FLC, they play a national schedule. I'm like, look, I'm trying to go over here because I played with Newt Arnold in the Donofrio tournament.
Yes.
2 years with Walt Rogers.
Yes.
Yeah, I played with Walt Rogers. So Walt Rogers let Newt and I just run crazy. So our chemistry was off the chain as soon as we played. I'm like, damn, this boy tough. Like, here, giving him the point a little bit, doing his thing, he kicking it out to me, we rolling. So Newt like, look, bro, we can come over here to FLC.
Dog, how can you say no to them opportunities, man? Come on.
I'm contemplating with Roman and FLC. I'm like,
and who was that Roman at around that time as well that you would have possibly played with?
So Donnie's there, Kettner's there, Donnie Conway is there, Samir Harbin. They had a dude named Gene Smalls. Gene Smalls, that was his name?
Wow.
But Gene went on to play football, but they had a great team, right? So I was going to come in there, but they have 2 point guards, RTO and Chris McNesby.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, you think they better than me? These 2 guys right here. It's like, hold up. They like, well, they been here, they paid their dues. I'm like, so what would be my role here? They're like,
no doubt.
You gotta come off the bench. I'm like, no, I'm not coming off the bench behind these 2 guys right here. Like,
and that was gonna be your senior year, correct?
That was gonna be my senior year. So I'm like, no,
you can't come off the bench, no way.
No. So like the FLC thing was like really when I started leaning toward that. And then like my family Mike Doyle, unbeknownst to me, he worked on my family so well that they're like, man, you need to go to Neumann.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, nah, I'm going to FLC. I'm not going because I'm not a kid that's just going, someone tell me to do something, I'm doing it. No
doubt.
I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Especially, no, really, like just being honest, like at that time of my life, especially, like I'm maturing.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I've been dealing with this stuff up Glen Mills.
Of course.
made me hard as nails with all that nonsense they got up there. So I'm coming back and I'm like, no, I'm kind of like not gonna listen to this. So they said, well, look, you got 1 year. If one thing go wrong, this could mess up your stuff with college. So I said, guess what though? They like, what? I said, I don't want to go to college. Where you get that from?
Wow.
They're like, what? I'm like, bro, I don't want to go to college.
Wow.
I said, I really don't want to go to high school. I said, but I know that they can't fail me in high school because I already got my SATs and I got a GED.
Gotcha.
So I'm really done. So I don't need
you got
any
your
of it.
GED at Glen Mills.
Yeah, I got my GED at, when I was 16.
Gotcha.
So I was done. Right? So I'm like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, so, nah, man, you might, well, anyway, you might change your mind. I'm like, nah, I'm not changing my mind. I'm done with school. I don't want to do it anymore.
Wow.
But I want to play ball, though, because I like it. I really want to play with Newt, like, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So they worked on me. The coach kept calling me to workouts, talking to me. He was the first one who really worked me out. And he showed me, like, all the stuff I couldn't do. I'm like, damn, I feel kind of garbage in this joint. Like, because you got to remember, he coming from St. Joe's. He coming from college, and he's coming from a basketball family. He married Jim Boyle's daughter.
Okay.
So all the Boyles and the Lynhams and all of these people, they all intertwined. So these are all basketball people. Gotcha. So he's working me out, and he's like, dude, I thought you were better. Like, I'm like, what?
So this is the fundamental foundation that you missed out on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't good at it. You know what I mean? I wasn't good at it. So going into my my senior year, I wound up, long story short, I wound up like, all right, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. Because he made me feel like I couldn't play, and he was showing me and telling me little stuff like, well, you're gonna need to do it this way and that way. I'm like, damn, nobody never told me that. So he really recruited me, and he made me feel like he can get me better.
Gotcha.
So and then he was like, dude, you can walk to school. He kept telling me I could walk to school. So I live on 23rd Street, and Neumann is on 25th Street. So I'm like, yeah, I could walk to school.
Simple.
But once I got around this guy, I get to Neumann, culture shock. Neumann has 60 black people in this joint. I'm like, what the hell? And there's 60 black people that I don't know.
Gotcha.
Well, it's 59 in myself. I don't know these people.
Gotcha.
Right? And it was different. I had to find my way. I had to figure it out. So a lot what I did was just observe and see where I could get in, where I could fit in, like see what teachers would like, you know, help me out with different things and help me navigate this new path that I'm on. Like, I don't know what's going on. So we get a couple guys to come in the fall that were from my neighborhood.
Okay.
They're younger than me.
Gotcha.
Right? So I'm like, all these guys, they went to middle school and elementary school. They went to Catholic schools.
Gotcha.
So they know a lot of these guys. So I'm like, I didn't know all these guys. They're like, man, we went to school together. So it was different. But they really educationally, which I really didn't need, but they made me work at it, and they made me feel like this is more important. Right? They made me feel like, nah, you gotta drive this education. You gotta they was pushing academics on me. So I had to work hard at that. Then it came to sports. Now, I wanted to play football at noon.
Okay.
So
you still had that football itch tugging at you.
Because I'm like, I'm gonna kill these guys in football because they small compared to these boys I just played up in this state.
No doubt.
So I'm looking at them like, this the football team? I'm like, this is JV?
Yeah.
They're like, no, this is our varsity team. I'm like, come on, bro, they small. So the athletic director was the head football coach, Deacon Miller.
Okay.
He like, all right, well, we heard you could play. You want to come down to a workout? So I go down to a workout. I'm turning this joint out. I'm turning this joint all the way out. They're like, God, this kid is really like exceptional. So as like halfway through the workout, I hear somebody coming in there, hey, what are you doing? I told you don't tell this kid to come down here. Curse words flying all across. This is the head basketball coach. Come on, get off the court. I'm like, why? It's like, if you get hurt, we responsible for your tuition and
That's
da-da-da.
right. That's right. That's
So
right.
that's when you realize, like, hey, this is a business.
100%.
This is a business.
100%.
These guys are protecting their investment because they had to pay my tuition. So, like, this is an investment for them. So if I don't play, they're like, hey, this is a bad investment. So
exactly.
I got my first taste of sports business right there.
100%. Exactly.
Yeah, like, man, this is crazy. So that was it. No more football. Don't even talk about it. Don't even think about it. But now we go into basketball. I see our team. We're miserable.
So you wasn't walking into a situation.
No.
You had to basically build the situation.
Yeah, but I thought we would get some other guys because me as a basketball player, I'm recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got guys in our neighborhood who are good, really, really good players. We had a guy named Robbie Sedan, 6'4". This guy was his fundamentals were way better than mine.
Gotcha.
And I don't know how. Yeah, he comes from a basketball family, and his father really like pushed like fundamentals on him. He could shoot, he could jump. He's a big, strong guy. Kind of like really underrated guy.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get him into Neumann, and then some things just didn't work. I just didn't work out. Like, you know what I mean? So I was trying to recruit players to come over there with me, right? So we don't get anyone. So the team is the team. So we got a guy who's a football player. Actually, he's like a 4-star football player. Leon Williams. I think he played tight end, like 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
He's like a prototypical 6'6" NFL tight end. Big body, move a little bit, catch. He's our center.
Gotcha.
We got another guy like 6'4". He's our power forward. We got 2 guards that's like 5'7", 5'8", and we got me. So I'm playing the back on the in our zone. We gotta play zone. We play big teams. I'm on the front line. I'm like, dude, what the hell? So we play Roman. Roman has Larry Kettner, Ronnie Conway, and another guy. So they like 6'9", 6'10", and like 6'7". Come on. Then you got Tamir Harbin. He's 6'3", 6'4". Then you got Donnie. I think at that time, Donnie probably was like 6'2", 6'2". And then they got these little guards, RC and McNesby. So when we play them, it looks crazy. So people don't know this. I averaged 10 rebounds a game as my senior year in high school.
I believe it. I've seen it. Yeah, I believe it.
Because I had to. So that helped me get a lot of triple doubles.
Because you had to do so much. You had to do so much.
Yeah. So I had to work hard at it, and then like it made me a better player. Because I learned how to do more with less.
Gotcha.
Right. A lot of these guys teaming up. What they call them super teams.
Super teams.
They doing this bitty basketball. Like, how you gonna develop his skills? Like, you know? So my skills and my competitive drive and all of that stuff, it really came together because I was like, damn, we can't lose all these games. But our coach was a basketball genius.
Gotcha.
This man, the system that he put in play, I think I had the ball 97% of the time. Even listen. Hey, listen, big homie. Even when I passed the ball, somehow 3 seconds later I got the ball
back. Got it
back. So everything I was doing, but he told me this. He said, look, everything that happens is going to come from your hand, from your skills, from your. I'm going to make it happen for you. I'm gonna make it, he said, I'm even going to make you look better than what you really are. And he did that.
No
he
doubt.
did that. And I trust him, and it was one of the best decisions I made. And another reason I went to Neumann is because Claude Gross. Claude Gross told me. Everyone was looking forward to college but me. Like everyone. Yeah, because when you're ready to go to college, I'm like, why you keep talking about college? And I'm telling everybody this openly, like, I'm not going to college.
Like, just pause real quick. This is mind-boggling, dog. It's hard to grasp on because here you go, like, just knowing this. Because, okay, you have individuals that from birth, you know, that their parents, they're doing the skills and drills. They're doing AAU. You know, they trying to get the college scholarship. That's their parents been grooming them, like, you know, for all their life.
Right.
and then it don't happen.
Right.
So here you're an individual. You start playing a little bit later. You know what I mean? You're getting in trouble. You at the Mills. Your passion is football. People talking about college. You like, man, I
Yeah.
ain't going to college. But
Right.
then now you look at Big Five Hall of Fame, St. Joe. It's just I can't understand. Just a natural athlete, man. Just so gifted. That's you just was gifted, man.
Yeah. And you don't know you're gifted until you get out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's so many dudes from the inner city, from neighborhoods like mine, that are just naturally gifted, better than me, bigger than me,
Mm-hmm.
and just never get a chance to get out there.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Now, a lot of that has to do with people's demeanor, their character, their temperament to deal and be around other people. I really was like not a good guy when I was a young guy, but I was quiet, so it would throw you off. You would think like, he's a good guy, but I was not a good guy. Like, I was just quiet. You know what I'm saying? So and there's a lot of truth in when people say like, if you don't have anything good to say, just be quiet.
No
People don't know what you're thinking until you start speaking. So
No
that
doubt.
was stuff that was like just embedded in me and instilled in me in my house. Like, just be quiet if you don't have anything good to say. And that carried on in my life. And people thinking like, he's so nice, he doesn't talk. But I'm like, nah, I'm just not talking. If you knew what I was thinking,
No
you would
doubt.
be like, you probably would run away.
No
So
doubt.
that really helped me. And and even when I wouldn't listen to people, I would hear them out.
No doubt. No doubt.
I would like, all right, can I talk to you? Sure.
Of
If
course.
you tell me something, I would do the exact opposite.
Uh-huh.
Disagree. I was respectful at that same moment. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna do what you're telling me to do, like, cause I don't feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, like Claude and this guy, my uncle, and they just said like, yeah, we want to go to college and da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, okay. We sitting in Claude's house, right? So he's telling me all this stuff and da 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 da. I see, like, all right, well, let's try to get you back at Glen Mills. Claude calls Glen Mills. I'm like, why are you doing that? I don't want to go back up there. He calls up there and the people give him a hard time. 2 minutes later, Claude is cursing the people out. All I hear at the end of it is, well, fuck you then. And this is nice up. And he hangs up. He was like, yeah, well, we got to go a different direction. I think Neumann is the best place for you. They're going to put some shine on you. You know, they have a way about cleaning kids up and making them respectful and making people look at them in a different light.
Gotcha.
So I went to Neumann. And they did all of that.
Uh-huh.
So now this whole thing, you go through Neumann, I'm getting all these awards, bro. Everything's happening so fast. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know about awards. I don't know what this stuff means because I'm really not into it.
Got you.
I don't read the newspaper. Every day somebody's like, yo, you in the newspaper. I'm like, oh yeah.
So you wasn't Friday night, big game, Saturday morning, go run to the newspaper, box score. That wasn't you. Okay.
I didn't even know where to look.
Gotcha.
Like I learned that. You know when I learned that? I learned that in school. I'm like, well, where are you finding all this stuff? Because I always see the daily news, but I don't like see.
So you wasn't cutting your clips out.
No,
and scrapbooks.
My
and
family
all
was doing it. My family was doing it.
Got you.
My family would cut all the articles and the Inquirer and the Daily News, and they were following it. And you know, I made them proud, and I was happy to do that. But I wasn't really like going nuts over this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. That's crazy, man.
For me, the whole thing was just the competition. But go ahead.
Who were some of your from your senior year, and then we'll transition, talk about college and stuff like that, and some stuff in between. We definitely got to talk about Donofrio, Conshohocken. But who were some of the players you mentioned? Rome and Donnie and them. Who were some other big time, really good players that you went against when you was at Neumann your senior year?
Who was? So the Catholic League wasn't like it is now.
Got you. That's right. Yeah.
You know
Yeah. True. Yeah.
The Catholic League back then had a lot more big men that were dominating.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The
guards in the Catholic League were like, they were just so to me.
So more like the public league had a lot of the best guards.
The pub had, and that's another reason I wanted to get in that pub.
Yeah.
I want to go against these guys, you know, like Reds. Who's his name? Sean Colson. I think that
FLC.
Who else was a big name? Rashid Brookenborough.
University City. Yep.
Antoine Brockington.
Brockington. Yep. Yep.
That's one of the most underrated dudes around, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you see how his son turned it up, so that's not a fluke.
Yes, for sure. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um,
Isaiah is a ball. He's
it was
balling.
all the guys who went to West. West had a good team. Joe Newton was doing well. Kevin Slaughter was out. Well, Kevin Slaughter was going when I was my
Did
senior
y'all have
year.
any crossover games, like when y'all played any of the pub teams, or not? Y'all just stayed strictly Catholic League.
We stayed Catholic because we didn't have a team to go and do crossover games. Like Roman was doing crossover games.
Yeah.
Gratz was doing crossover games. U City did some crossover games, but not us. We primarily stayed in the Catholic League, in the Interact. We played a couple of Interact teams.
Okay.
So I didn't get that bump in that pub that year. You know what I mean? Like I was looking for that thing. I wanted that.
You would have definitely earned some stripes, some more stripes, playing against the pub teams, going up against a really tough pub guard. Then you get them write-ups and that notoriety.
Yeah.
For sure.
Who else was doing well out here? Spencer Polson. Remember that name?
What's that?
Spencer Polson.
Kind of sounds familiar.
He was good, man. This boy used to be tough. Like So generally, all of the city schools were all the pub schools, the top tier pub schools, the Gratz, the FLCs and the U Cities, and you got to rank West Philly High. It wasn't 75 high schools back then.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
So you getting your best look every night. Like, all right, you got to bring it. So I didn't get a really chance to go against them guys. Probably in a couple All-Star games.
Okay.
They had city versus suburban. They had
that was always big. The city versus suburb game was big.
Yeah. Then they had a Catholic versus pub, but a lot of guys didn't show up. So it was. But I got all of that in the Sunny Hill League.
Okay.
Everything I missed during the season, the Sunny Hill League covered it, and then the Down the Frio tournament took it a step higher because you got guys from New York, Delaware, Jersey coming down, and you played against some guys. So
tell me about the Down the Frio. What that experience was like. And you only played in the Down the Frio. Was it 1 year or 2 or what?
Yeah, no, I played 2 years, and I played 2 years with the guy. What was his name? With Newt Arnold. So we played with the guy. Guy Rogers was the coach, and then my senior year we played with the Sunny Hill Seniors, and I ran across this guard named Gary Lumpkin.
Gary Lumpkin, where was he from?
He's from Delaware, and he went to Xavier.
Okay.
Bro, it was not good that first half. He was crushing me. Bro, he was crushing me. And I was playing like really good defense on him, but he was just like raising up, shooting. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo. So you know how small it is in there. So everybody's like, they going crazy. He has his entourage with him.
Delaware had some ballers too. That was around the time, sorry to cut you off, Maryland. You know what I'm talking about? Played at Maryland as well. God, what's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Bow-legged had
LaRon Prophet.
LaRon Prophet. Yeah, LaRon Prophet was tearing it up there too. Exactly.
Yeah, he was tearing it up. And the reason I know him, he was messing with some girl I used to know in St. Joe's. I'm like,
gotcha.
You split your time with us, huh?
Okay. No doubt. No doubt.
Right, but
you said my man was giving you the business though.
Listen, he was giving me everything I didn't want, and he was like kind of embarrassing me because I have an entourage at this point.
Because I'm sure the whole South Philly came to see you.
Coming up from Delaware, and then it's like the general population, like they want to see, like, oh, this guy is Rashid Bey. Let's see this boy taking me to ruin.
Wow.
Second half, come out. Now I got a lashing in the locker room. What the? They going crazy on me. So I come out. First play, I'm picking. I might have picked him 3 times in a row coming out the gate. Then I just had my groove. I started taking him through it. After the game, he like, yo, you tough.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, what college you going to? I'm like,
Ray Carroll. Ray said, was it Lenny Brown? Ray said Lenny Brown.
Lenny Brown. There you go, Ray Carroll.
Shout out to Ray. Appreciate it, Ray.
Yo.
Coming through in the clutch. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was clutch. That was clutch. Yeah, that's right. Ray Carroll, an A10 alum. He know what's up.
Yeah, Ray know.
Yeah, it was Lenny Brown and Gary Lumpkin. It was like a big time bet. They were in Streets and Smith. They
Uh-huh.
was ranked high in that joint. So I'm like, yo, who these boys? And then I played them, and I went back, and I was like, damn, that was the ball. The
Mm-hmm.
ball was tough, man. He was taking me through it. But that second half, like I got back at him, and we won that game. But it was much respect on that. And I played against somebody. Who else? I think we played the Road Runners. They had
Oh, Jersey, New Jersey, they always brought them.
yeah,
Shaheed
yeah. They brought a
Holloway and
team
all
down.
them guys, they
They
always
had
come over there.
Shaheem, but Shaheem didn't come.
Oh, wow.
But that was another big matchup. Like, oh, we want him.
Dog,
But
you versus Shaheem Holloway, dog, that would have
yeah,
been crazy,
they
dog.
wanted that. They wanted
Crazy.
that. They wanted that. And I was older, but he was blowing up at that particular time.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, they got this boy Shaheem. I'm like, bro, I ain't letting him get off on me. And then I watched a couple of his little, I don't know how we got tapes of people back then, though, right? But all the tapes were flying around like
Uh-huh.
VHS tapes. And I saw him play. I'm like, damn, he was tough. Like,
Shaheem was tough. Super
yeah,
tough.
he was tough.
Super
So
tough.
that tournament, you know what I mean, that propelled me, you know, because we won the tournament. And
Oh, you
I did
won
really
it
well.
down the field. You won the championship there.
Yeah, did we win it? I think we won it.
With the Sunny Hill
Sunny Hill
Seniors.
Seniors. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If we didn't win it, I think we made the championship.
Okay.
So we had a good team. And
Yeah.
I played against some real good players.
So you didn't play no AAU, nothing like that.
So I played AAU.
Okay.
I played AAU with Shub and Littell Vaughn.
Got you.
Shub and Littell put a team together.
Okay.
Listen, it's me, Newt, maybe Donnie. Yo, we had a crazy team.
Wow.
Right? So this is when they had the Connecticut shootout, they had the Delaware shootout, they had a couple other joints. So we going down, Shub and Littell. They like, look, y'all want to play against all these guys? We gonna set it up. We going down. I'm like, who Kareem Reed? Because they keep talking about this.
Yo!
So,
The best kept secret.
yeah, so they like, man. So Shub and Littell, yo, if anybody doesn't know, these guys are straight instigators in sports. They like, bro, you
Shout out to
nothing
Shub and Littell Vaughn.
Yeah, they like,
doubt.
listen, like, you don't want none of this boy. This boy McDonald's All American. I'm like, what? They're like, come on, Sheed, man.
Wow.
Like, man, you might not be ready. So they had another dude named Dwayne Woodward. Dwayne Woodward.
That sounds familiar.
I think he played for the Long Island Panthers.
Okay.
So they had him. They had Zendon Hamilton at the time.
Zendon Hamilton, yeah, with the UConn, right? Zendon Hamilton.
And they had a couple other boys. They were tough. We played them. Somehow, I never got a chance to play against Kareem Reed, but during that weekend, my name was starting to like, yo, we want to see this ball go against Kareem. Because I played against Dwayne. They used to call him 40.
Uh-huh.
So I'm playing against him. I'm like, nah, he ain't that. He a big guard, though. He like 6'3". He was good, but for the amount of pump that he had, I was like, nah, I want to play against this boy. They like, nah, you sure you want that? This boy might embarrass you out here. I'm like, come on, bro, stop playing. I want to get out there. And I got my man Newt with me.
Of course.
He turning up in this joint. Like, man, he dropping 30s. I'm getting 20s and all that, but he getting busy. But I'm like, go ahead, do your thing.
Uh-huh.
So like we won it. Like, so they like, look, he's the best three backcourt. The best three backcourts. It was myself and Newt. It was Kareem Reed and I think damn man, I forget this boy name. This boy went to like Seton Hall or something. He went to Seton Hall or Georgia Tech. I forget his name. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. I think it was Gary something. Gary Charles or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. And then it was Dwayne Woodward and this other guy that was on his team. So we already got rid of Dwayne Woodward, you know. So like we want to go against Kareem Reed now. So we had to win this next game. And we played the Long Island Panthers again. Bro, they cheated us so bad.
Wow.
So I never got the chance to play against Kareem Reed. That
would have been legendary, dog. That would have been legendary.
But he was turning up, though. We stayed and watched this game like, yo, this boy tough. He was
I
out there
had Kareem,
getting
I had
busy.
Kareem Reed on. I interviewed him last week, dog.
That's
Legendary, man.
crazy.
So,
That's crazy. That's crazy. And then next thing I know, that spring, going into summer, he played in the McDonald's game and he was turning up. I'm like,
exactly.
yo, this boy
Yeah.
good.
Tore it up.
So I missed that game. I think that game would have took me if I would have played well, of course.
Yeah.
You know,
And to answer
it would took me
your
there.
question, remember how you a little bit ago you was wondering how do you get ranked? Going up against players like that, then you
Yeah,
pick them articles, then you would have been, that's how the rankings came back then.
correct,
You know what I mean?
correct. And the tell and shoot were like, y'all want to get ranked, y'all gotta win these games.
Yeah, for
And you have
sure.
to play well. So they really exposed me to AAU basketball on that kind of level. Like, this is how you get ranked. This is what you need to be doing.
Yep.
So a lot of things that transpired on the AAU level, it was from Littell and it was from Shu. So they really, big shout out to them for doing that. And then they carried it on with Ya and Donnie because they went on and won the Delaware Shootout, I think.
Uh-huh.
They won that joint. I
Yeah.
think it was Shu, a guy named Carlos, and my uncle. They coached. And they went, and that's when Ya and Donnie just blew up.
Yeah.
They got like top 30 in the country after that.
Hey,
So,
curious, did your tell me about your love for basketball. Did you still like with Shub and Littell and them and doing the AAU thing, and now you're playing with the best of the best in the country in these tournaments, and you're hearing,
yeah,
oh, this guy's going to UConn, this guy's going to Arkansas, this guy's going to
yeah.
this. Did you start to get the love and start to say, you know what, I kind of want to play college ball, or it still didn't hit you yet?
No. I never loved basketball.
Got you.
I love competition.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And that was my way of competing
Got you.
through basketball, right? So that not wanting to be humiliated and wanting to humiliate people, because that's really how I used to come on the court. Like, I'm embarrassed this boy.
Got
That
you.
drove me to work on my game.
Got you.
That drove me to try to perfect my craft. But in college, I met this guy, a white guy from like Lancaster, Scranton, somewhere. He was a tennis player. He told me, "Hey, Rashid, before we leave, can you get us to the tournament?" So I'm like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, man, we got to get to the tournament. Like, I'm putting it on you."
Yes,
He was one of the first ones that put that on me and made me start working on my game in college, like to try to all right, we got to start trying to win games and we got to get to the tournament because we want to have fun.
Of course.
So up until that point, and even when I played professionally, I liked the competition, and then I started getting into the science of basketball,
Mm-hmm.
the continuity and the camaraderie, and working together as a unit and trying to get a real good result. I started loving that.
Got you.
So yeah, if you want to say I love basketball, I love that about basketball because I really like working well with a team, and I like everyone to do their job the best that they can, and I want to do my job the best I can. And if I'm the point guard, I got to make all this come together.
Of course.
So just that part of it, I was like, I love this.
So you fell in love with those details and those, and then the overall game of basketball benefited from your love of those minor details.
Exactly.
Got you.
Because basketball has a dark side to it that people don't like to tap into.
Mm-hmm.
The people who fall on their face, who commit so much to it and they don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
So that's the darker side. Or kids getting used in the game of basketball.
Yep.
So I saw some of that, and I'm like, I don't really like how they doing that, but yeah, all right, let's try to make something happen. Man.
No doubt. Hey, take me back. You mentioned St. Joe's, but if you can tell me real quick about your whole college recruiting process. I mean, was coaches coming at you, and then what other schools was recruiting you, and then what made you choose St. Joe's?
This is a funny story. Coaches are recruiting me, but I don't know it.
Got you.
They sending out letters to the school and stuff like that. So I would get the letters and just put them in my locker. I would never read this stuff.
Wow.
So I was
back then, just to put in perspective for the younger players, back then, a lot of times, if you was the guy, like you was getting them personal, you may have got the personal letters from the coaches, handwritten, this and that, like some, personal letters. So these were legit, and you wasn't reading them.
No. So this was like, all that stuff was new to me. Again, I'm in high school. I'm still thinking like, I ain't going to college, so I don't need to read this stuff.
Uh-huh.
So the school is like, yo, a lot of schools are calling up here for you. So, and for any younger kids that may be listening, try to get control over your recruitment because your school, they're the first ones who interact with these universities, and you have to be on top of it to let them know, like, I'm open to all schools because they will try to drive your recruitment in a certain direction if you acting like an airhead and you're not paying attention. So that's just a word to the wise right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are wise. You guys know more than I did, and I know that you need to be in tune with that. So I wasn't really interested. I had letters. So my coach said one day, like, "Are you reading this mail?" I'm like, "Nah, I didn't read it."
Yo, this is
He's
crazy,
like,
dog. This is
he's
unbelievable,
laughing,
man.
like, "Yo, you gotta read the stuff to see which schools like you and all that." I'm like, "Oh, all right." So I'm just like, so one day I come home, I got all these letters in my backpack, and I'm like, I think I left it on the couch or something, and it was open. And my mother saw it and was like, "Damn, you got all these schools looking at you." And then she started telling my family about it. So, of course, they became more and more interested. I mean, my uncles were there all the way, every step of the way. But
Gotcha.
other people in my family started finding out, like, yo, this guy can go to college, this and that. But I wasn't really, like, into it. So me going to St. Joe's was like this. Where's your school? Because I don't know where St. Joe's is.
Gotcha.
All I know is LaSalle and Temple. This is all I know. I know where Penn is because it's relatively close to my neighborhood. So I'm like, St. Joe's, where is that? I'm like, oh, okay. So I meet the coach. They come out to a home visit, and they recruited me. They tell me,
was it Martelli who came out or some assistants?
No, it was Jeff Arnold, and it was the head coach back then was John Griffin.
Okay.
His son is the coach of Roman now.
Matt Griffin's dad. Okay.
So he comes out, he's telling me all this stuff. Guess what? I don't remember shit he said. I'm sitting on the couch, I'm tuned out.
Was it you and your family or just you or what?
It was me and my uncle. It was me and my uncle. Donnie Carr's brother was there and someone else. So they talking. They going in. They go, hey, Rashid could do this. And like, I don't hear anything.
In one ear and out the other.
So at the end, they're like, "Do you have any questions?" I'm like, "Who's the best player on your team?" So they're like, "Well, the best player is probably Bernard Blunt. He has He's a pro prospect. Da 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 da." I'm like, "Oh, okay. How can I watch your games?" I never saw them play.
Gotcha.
I'm not interested. So that year, I started watching a couple games. Now, Bernard Blunt, before he got hurt, he's turning this thing out. So they got a big game. They call me. We don't have cell phones back then. We got house phones, right?
Yeah, they got to call the crib.
I'm living in an apartment, right, by myself. I'm a senior in high school. I want to let me have an apartment. So they paying for the apartment. I'm chilling, man. You know what I got? You know what I'm doing in an apartment. I've been up Glen Mills. I go to a boys' school. Come on, this apartment. You got to turn this joint up. So they call me. Yeah, we got a big game going out to Arizona. Check this guard out, though. They got this guard, Damon Stoudemire.
Yes.
Check him out. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch the game. I watched the game. First 3 plays of the game, Bernard Blunt is killing. The 4th play of the game, he gets a steal. He runs down the court. He's all alone. He goes up. He dunks the ball. He comes back down. He's screaming. I'm like, why is this guy screaming like this? He blew his knee out.
Yeah.
His kneecap went up into his quadricep.
Wow.
So I'm like, what happened, man? He went up and dunked the ball. Muscles were too tight.
Wow.
Right? Blew his knee out. Never was the same. Came back. You know, he tried, but that was just...
Wasn't the same.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, this guy Damon Stoudemire was kind of killing your guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have dropped like 29 or something on these boys.
Mm-hmm.
But he was shooting from like the hash mark, coming 2-3 steps over half court, pulling up. It was him and Khalid Reeves.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that backcourt was real dynamic. But before Blunt got hurt, Blunt was taking it to them boys. So
Uh-huh.
I got a chance to see somebody from a different state on the other side of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And this boy Stoudemire was like, man, he was different. I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
for sure.
So I'm like, yo, how tall is he? They're like, man, he's not tall as you.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, wow, this boy is tough. So I had a visual of like what to expect in college, but I didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, look, I'm gonna go to St. Joe's. Like they take me up. They take me up there for a visit. So at first I had Temple. Then I had Temple took Johnny Miller. LaSalle didn't want me because Turk was up there acting crazy. They wanted me at first, then they didn't want me because they're like, no, after what Turk with Mott did up here, we don't want any more kids from Glen Mills. Like,
From Glen Mills. Wow.
Yeah, we can't afford it. We can't afford it.
Wow.
So I had St. Joe's. I had South Carolina. I had some strange schools like I forget the names of these schools, but none of the schools that I wanted to go to.
Got you.
When I watched basketball on Saturdays, I saw Georgia Tech. I saw Kenny Anderson. How do I get to that school? I want to go to this school. Wasn't good enough, buddy. Get out of here. So I went to my visit. I was so tired when I got to the visit. They're like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Where do I sleep?" So they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, where I'm sleeping." They're like, "Oh, well, you're gonna sleep at the dorm. Show me the dorm." They take me to the dorm. So when I get to the dorm, the coach is there. So he's like, "You didn't do anything." I said, "Yeah, I'm tired, man." I said, "But you know what, man? I'm gonna just sign with St. Joe's. Y'all seem like y'all cool, man. I'm gonna just come here."
Just simple as that.
Yo, they looking around like, really? So I'm like, all right, man, I'm ready to go to bed.
Wait. So they didn't have to go through the whole whining and dining, the whole visit.
Yo, they wanted to take me to a party. I think hold up. Nah, they wanted to take me to I think they took me to a party, but I was like, yo, this is not my thing. Like, I don't really, I mean, this party
y'all gotta do all that.
It's not really jumping for me anyway. Like, I'm from the hood. This music is a little
Exactly.
different up here. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just going to my dorm. I'm going to go back to the dorm, man. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed.
No doubt.
And the coach was there, and he was like, well, what you? I was like, man, you know what, man? Y'all guys seem like y'all cool, man. I'm gonna just come to St. Joe's.
No doubt.
Signed with St. Joe's. Didn't really know what that meant.
Gotcha.
I didn't know the meaning of that. I didn't know what I did. I didn't even know what I committed to.
Like committing to a college, you didn't realize
right, because
what that meant.
Like, Claude and all these guys, oh, you got to go to St. Joe's. They got tradition and this and that. I'm like, I don't even want to go to college, but all right, I got to do this. All right. I signed. That was crazy. So things.
Hey, real quick. Believe it or not, that's another hour, man. This conversation is crazy.
Yo, this is crazy.
We rolling, dog. So we gonna do the same thing we did. I'm gonna save this. We're gonna come right back. We're gonna continue talking about St. Joe's and some other, some other things I have for you, man. And then, whatever, however much time you have, I can go all night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't talk about this stuff often, so like you guys got to get it out of me now. You may not.
Trust me, I'm here with you.
The dude's already saying like, yo, I ain't see you in like 10 years. All right, the night after the night, you might not see me for another 10 years, man. Get it all out of me tonight.
Listen. So everybody, we gonna tune out. I'm gonna save this. We're gonna come right back. Everybody come right back because we're gonna have a nice little Q&A. I'm gonna let the people ask my man Rashid Bey some questions. So come right back. Give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, what's the deal, y'all? It's your Big Star Raw Sports Legends Week with the legend Rashid Bey. This is part 3 of this interview. Legendary, man, classic stories. We're gonna be wrapping up pretty soon. She's going to continue to talk about his college career at St. Joe's, all his accomplishments there. I'm gonna have him talk about life after St. Joe's, if anybody was interested in, and what happened after St. Joe's with his pro career. At what point did his pro career come to a close? Then I'm gonna have him, drop some gems to the younger generation and all the young ballers watching. Hey, so let's pick up. Tell me about what are some of your most? I mean, I was doing some research earlier, man, just refreshing my own memory. So I'm not sure if you, like similar to my god brother Marcus Green. So when I interviewed him, I mean, we lived in the same house, slept on the same couch. So I knew that's family. So I knew a lot about him, but I went to like Wikipedia or Saint Bonaventure and read his bio. Dog, it was pages and pages and pages of accomplishments. So I say all that to say, like, similar to yourself, dog, your accomplishments are just like, it's so many. Like,
Right.
do you even realize how much you accomplished at St. Joe's?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Again, man, my family, and especially my uncle, he was really like the driving force behind it. So he was more keeping me abreast of, man, you did. I'm like, bro, like, I gotta go write a 30-page paper. You talking about some stuff I did? Like, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So he would keep me abreast, and like other guys that were around. We got my uncle Dawood. We got my other uncle Kenyatta. We got guys who I considered my uncles. Like we got Darren Carr, who's Donnie Carr's brother. We got Johnny Ray, who's a friend of my uncle's. I call him my uncle. We got Carlos. We got these guys that's right there. They're telling me, Mikkel, they're telling me all this stuff that's going on, but I'm like, who cares? You see what I'm saying? Who cares? Like, it was cool. The cool part about it was the action.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the juice for me. Like, yo, I'm gonna play against this guy. I get it. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that they write about and the awards and all that, the only cool part about was
gotcha.
You get good food, and I used to get dressed up because I like to get dressed up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going on a banquet. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was, but the juice and the action was in the games.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
So the accolades and the write-ups and this award, that wasn't really your thing.
People tell me stuff that to date that I didn't know I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did the thing with Shu. He's like, yeah, you're in the Bleacher Report. And I'm like, I'm in the Bleacher Report?
Yeah.
I don't have any idea. Like, for instance, so Coach K put me on USA Basketball.
Okay.
Now, we go down to Duke and we play Duke. We get crushed. But I played well, though. You're gonna lose the battle, but you're gonna lose the war, but I'm gonna win my battle.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So after the game, Coach K stops me. He's like, son, you're a really talented basketball player. I'm gonna look out for you as much as I can. Now, all I know is that Trajan Langdon and Rashawn McLeod just destroyed us. I don't really want to hear that I'm a good basketball player. You see what I'm saying? So when things like that started happening, and they come back to me in that summer and say, hey, you got invited to USA, my coaches. So I'm like, yeah, what's that? Like,
yeah.
They're like, what do you mean what's that? That's like the Olympics for high school. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's cool. How I get on that?
So you still like, so all this time you really wasn't really in tune to the because also, until you to benefit of the doubt, like this was still before there was no social media, internet wasn't all popping like that. So you know what I'm saying? So I get it. Still stuff like that. You had to be on the in crowd or the in circle to understand those things, to know what they were. So you know what I mean? That was a different era. That was a different era.
That was definitely a different era. And my guys that I grew up with, and I consider them my guys even all the way through until the day, they weren't into basketball. But they were happy that I was doing well. Like,
no doubt.
And like, man, that's what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get it from my guys.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So what I got it from, like again, those names that I named, my Uncle Daoud, my Uncle Johnny Ray, Sharif, my Uncle Mikel, my Uncle Carlos, and Darren, and Wally, all of these guys are keeping me informed. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not hanging out and I'm not going to a lot of basketball players' activities. Like,
got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what I was doing. I was just having fun with the competition.
Got you.
And I think that also helped me because it helped me stay focused on just competing and trying to get better and not looking for the fame and the glamour.
Makes
you know
sense.
What I'm saying? Yep, a lot of people want that way. Like a lot of people today, these young guys, they're so concerned about their Instagram and putting up a video and like, hold up, let's do that move again because it has to look right for Instagram. But I'm like, bro, you're not good.
Yeah.
Like, why do you, like I tell my son, I have a 10-year-old son, I got a 3-year-old son, Adam and Noah. So Adam wants to play basketball. So he's the only child from his mother. Right? His mother wants to buy him the most expensive sneakers. I'm like, he's not good.
No doubt.
He has to get team sneaker. He has to get the team sneaker. You know, the common ones are like
That's right.
$70. Not nothing for like $120, $130.
Get something basic. Yeah.
You have to be a player.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
That's how my uncles and them would, bro. The one game in the Catholic League, I had, this is these numbers: 40 points, 12 steals, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Took me out with 3 minutes plus left in the game.
Wow.
I come home, my uncles, all of them sitting around say, "You think you did something?" I'm like, "Yo, I almost had a quadruple double." They said, "Against that team you just played, you should have had 60 points, 20." I was like, "Yo, these dudes are crazy." So they never let me settle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The guy did 12, and the parents are so elated, and I'm like, because the standard was so high. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like that's what I knew. So even when I was doing stuff in college, like I wasn't averaging 20. So I didn't think like compared to what I've been pushed to do and try to do, I was just doing okay. I did okay. Like they want me to get 25. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things, and again, it's just all like perspective. Is all about who's behind you. And it's just different. But I wasn't in tune to like that because I thought I was just doing okay.
Got you.
That's another reason I wasn't really hype on it. I'm like, I'm doing okay. Like, because I'm looking at other guys, they getting 30s and 25s. Like, you got to remember, a lot of college players back then, they were getting 20 points on an average if they were considered an NBA prospect. So I'm like, I'm not getting 20 points. I'm watching Mike Bibby and these guys. They putting up numbers. I'm like, so I'm chasing that. I'm not chasing the articles and all that kind of stuff. That's real nice, but I'm chasing these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's some of your most memorable experiences at St. Joe's? Big games, players you played against. You know, something that you'll things you'll never forget about, and things that if you because you got those guys who season ticket holders that have been going to St. Joe's games for years. Games that they may still mention that you played in.
So one of the biggest games when we played UMass, they the #1 team in the country, right? They on like a 17-game win streak. They going all around the country. They played at all the big preseason tournaments, nationally televised. So
that Canby and those guys.
Canby, Dante Dingle,
Tyrone Weeks,
Trevor Ariza.
Yep.
The other guy they had, I forget his name.
Yeah, they were definitely number one.
They were loaded. Right? They were loaded. So they coming in, and like a lot of my teammates are afraid. They scared. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, we got these guys. So now I'm like, I'm stepping up and telling like I'm a leader. Like I'm trying to get my guy, and it felt like Neumann again.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
Outside of my junior year, which was a great year that we had, we get Ya. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, we got guys who all banged up.
Yeah.
This guy had knee surgery. This guy, that. Like, so we got like a kind of like a misfit squad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So we going up against the #1 team in the country, but we've been playing well.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I think we can beat them. So
Uh-huh.
the coaching staffs, they talking to me, and I'm like, man, we got to do this. Because I'm scouting too.
Of course.
So they're like, what? Say that again? Man, this guy can't do this. We got to get him to do this. So I'm a student of the game, and I'm transmitting this information to the coaching staff. So we go in there, we playing right here at Hog Hill.
Wow.
Come in, good game,
Wow.
ESPN. It's packed. Bang, we tip it up. I'm like, we got these guys. Listen, because I'm
somebody else had mentioned Edgar Padilla as well.
Edgar Padilla, that's his name.
Yep.
Edgar Padilla and Trevieso.
Shout out Mike Zach one. Appreciate that. Edgar Padilla, yep.
So Zachy, we rocking against these guys, but I'm thinking like Trevieso can shoot. He can't dribble. We got to make him put the ball on the ground. Mm-hmm. Padilla can't shoot, and he's slow. So we can do certain things. So we had no answer for Camby. We already know that. You know what I'm saying? And we got to keep Weeks and Dante Dingle. Like, we got to keep them dudes off the backboard. Because they was notorious for eating the glass, getting put back. That's where they really beat you. They play like a bully style of basketball.
Yep.
So I'm like, look, we gotta do this, and that. Man, we go in there, we beat these guys. Some of the fans were crying. Like, I'm like, oh, they're crying. Like, the building was electric. The student body was just elated.
And that St. Joe's, that gym it was tight and kind of small.
It's tiny.
So
they on top of you.
Yeah.
It feel like you in a pit a little bit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They on top of you. And that was things just took off from there. It just took off from there. But that was one of the games. One of the other games was when we played the year before. We played in the championship of the NIT.
Okay.
And this was my first interaction with Teron Lou. Yeah. So we watching the tape. I'm like, I can guard him. You got to put me on him, though. So the coach goes and he didn't start me. He starts Mark Bass. Mark Bass was having a great year, though, right? But he could not guard Tyronn Lue. And this boy was taking him through it. By the time they put me in, I'm at the table and I turned to the coach. I'm like, he's already hot.
he already seen.
Yeah, like
he already turned
put
up.
Me in too late. He's too hot now. Like, I gotta try to put out a fire.
Yes.
So we battled, but we lost that championship, and I was salty about that because I thought that we would have put me in earlier. He could have kept Bass in, but put me in earlier. I think we would have had a better chance of neutralizing because he was younger.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that was another game. Another game was the Penn game.
Okay.
Great Penn. Jerome Allen's a senior.
Chief Bay versus Drew Allen. Wow.
Yeah, listen, they telling me he can't shoot. Just keep him out the lane.
What year were you then when he was a senior?
I think I was a sophomore.
You'd be a sophomore? Wow.
Yeah, sophomore, right? So I'm like, I might have been a freshman. I was a freshman or a sophomore, whatever.
Okay.
So he blowing up, right? We go out. They like, he can't shoot. Pressure him and then give him space. We got it. Man, this boy come out banging all these trays. He hit like 4 trays in the first quarter. I'm like, yo, I turned to the coach and like, yo, I thought
they said he couldn't shoot.
So now he gets to doing all these moves. I'm like, yo, this boy is working out. We came back and won that game, but I was like, yo, I'm going to just play people the way. After that, I was like, I'm playing people the way I think I should play them. I'm not going to get embarrassed.
Scrap the scouting report.
Yeah, scrap that. This boy was taking me through it. I'm like, man, he hitting all these threes. He had like 27 points that game, but we won. But
no doubt.
I remember that game.
No
we
doubt.
Played, who else we played? Xavier. When they were ranked like number 7. We beat them. That was a big game for us. So those are games that I remember. But one of the toughest dudes that I ever played against, again, I'm going to say his name, Bevan Robbins, man. This boy went to Fordham. He was tough, man. He could handle. He had a big body. Had a nice mid-range pull-up. Wasn't really a 3-shooter, but he was really good. It's me. He gave me problems. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Now, did you cross? You're a couple years old. I think Ray Carroll was class of '95. But did you cross paths with Ray? When you played for him, right?
Yeah, we played against each other. We played against each other. He can tell you about Bevan Robbins. Like because he had interaction with him. He was he was good.
Gotcha. Hey, so when I was going through your resume, and getting to know you now, and how you felt about like the accolades and all that wasn't your main motivation. That wasn't your focus.
No.
But of all the things that I've read, like Big 5 MVP back to back, right?
Yeah.
Big 5 Hall of Fame, St. Joe's Hall of Fame, over 1,000 points, over 1,000 points and over 500 assists in your career. Like, of those things, which of those that are you proud of any of those things?
Well, I'm proud of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of all of them. And the reason why is because I didn't come in expected to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come in thinking of doing those things. So I didn't have that. I didn't have a self-image. I didn't have that, and other people didn't view me as that type of player. So one of the things that made me like feel good was one time one of our coaches said, "Yo, I got a buddy at I think he was coaching like the Big East somewhere," and he was like, "Yo, I would really like to have y'all point guard." It's like,
No doubt.
Like, damn, I could play at the Big East. You know what I'm saying? So that was a memorable thing for me. And then just coming from a humble beginning with basketball, being a person who's like self-made, I'm real proud of all of those things. But some of these things that I did, like, again, I didn't really know I did all this stuff until I stopped playing ball.
And removed yourself from it. Yeah.
Right. And I start being I gave people access to me. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really around like that. You couldn't really just find me anywhere and come in. No, that's not, and even today.
No doubt.
I was always laid back, trying to stay low, trying to stay off the radar because, I don't want to run in. After I got myself together, I didn't want to run into trouble. So I would stay low. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
People are like, "Yo, bro, where are you?"
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm around.
I'm at where I'm at.
Yeah. So it wasn't easy to find me, and I didn't give access to people.
Yeah.
But after I stopped playing, I started giving more. I'm like, damn, yeah, because remember the game? And I'm like, no, I don't remember that game.
Yeah.
Did you know you did this?
So were some things kind of like a blur to you?
It was a blur. Things were going so fast. They were moving so fast.
Yeah.
That you couldn't even really enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I really had to do schoolwork. I keep telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
They made me do schoolwork up here. So that was my primary thing. But another thing that was a problem when we would play bigger schools, right? So these guys, like, they were projected as this, and they were projected to be better than me. So I always wanted to play those bigger schools. Yeah. And I think my record against bigger schools is pretty outstanding.
Okay.
I don't think we lost many games against the bigger schools.
Bigger schools, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that was always like something that I prided myself on. Like, all right, you may have been better than me or perceived to be better than me when I was a senior in high school, but right now I'm about to get your ass. So when I played against like Sham God, I got the best of that, and we won.
Wow! Come on, talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Providence. Talk about it.
Gotta bring it up. Gotta talk about it. Listen.
Wow.
He coming out of New York. His rep and his name is ringing bells. It still ring bells today. He's still doing well.
Remember the McDonald's All-American game. Sham guy when he's down low, dribbling up the court.
Got the best handle in the world. He could do this and do that. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right. Let's see him do that on me.
I know that's right.
I don't think he can do that on me. So we get the game. They got a big team. They got all these names on here. I'm like, look, we got them. They not better than some of the teams in our league. They don't get caught up on this Big East stuff. So again, I always had to pump up my team.
Got you.
They didn't always feel confident going in. They were
So,
because,
that was your role since Neumann, man, and it always
yeah,
just remained your role.
it's just a continuation. And plus, a lot of guys in college were more into basketball, so they knew people's rank.
Got you.
Excuse me. They knew all of the things that can make you scared. So it's like going against Tyson. You already know. You come in, he gonna knock you out.
100%.
So I don't know these guys. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, all right. Well, I hear about him. Let's see what's
Yeah.
up when I go against him. And when I went against him, it wasn't as hard as for they was like, yo, you killing this guy. I was like, yeah, I told you I was gonna do that. Like,
No
I don't
doubt.
think he can do all that. Especially once I got to understand the college game. All of that tricky dribble and all that, you can't do that because it's helped me. So I'm gonna use all that against him, and I got the best of him that day. And I just felt like I could play against anybody. Once I start playing bigger schools,
You know,
I was like,
I
I can play against anybody.
appreciate you mentioning that, man, and I'm gonna highlight that. Like whenever when I put this interview on YouTube and kids watch this, that's an old school quality and an old school trait, and then that toughness. Okay, these days now, especially you said, kids that ain't even that nice, they build themselves up. They build this image on YouTube and on Instagram. All you see is the highlights and this and that. So now kids are at these tournaments and they're starstruck.
Yeah.
They walk in the gym, they're like, oh my God, they go my man, they got the 1 million followers.
Yeah.
He got all the highlights on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's the guy. And then they're already psyched out mentally.
And
they're going against him as fans. But back then, you know, you said, who is this guy? Okay, I understand the rep. He in Street and Smith and this and that, but he got to show me who he is today.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that's gotten lost over the years, man.
I think so. And I think that, especially in Philadelphia, and I talk about this a lot, the kids don't really know how to compete. And I think by people watering down the Sunny Hill League and diminishing all that his reputation as in that league's reputation, it hurt the city. Because back then, when you had to play against everybody, there was no hiding.
Under one roof.
One roof every day, and you can go like, I'm gonna go watch this game, but I'm up next.
Yep.
So when that league fell apart, and this is just my observation, when it fell apart, the city fell apart because you can play against guys from all parts of the city. So whoever the best talents were, they would come. You would meet them there. You would play against them. You can get your confidence up, or you can get your confidence knocked down real far.
Yeah,
you had to bring your game.
And that allows you to put your game and put yourself in perspective to see where you was at for real.
Let's gauge this. Like, let's see where I'm at. Let's see what I can do against these guys. So, and I think we were putting out a better product.
Okay.
In the city when that was going on, when that was running at its height, like the city was putting out better product. Now the city is not putting out good product, and I think, just from me saying, like, I think that when that went away, the competitiveness of the city went down. It's still tough kids, but do you know how to compete? Being tough doesn't mean you necessarily know how to compete. And like, so we got to look at that. We got to look at that.
For sure. Hey, question for you, man. Something I was thinking about a few seconds ago. You know, when I asked you of all your accomplishments at St. Joe's, you know, which one were you most proud of? You say you were proud of them all, and you accomplished so much. You were self-made and all of that. Like, going back to that individual, I forget his name, who when you was 11 years old, you know, introduced you to
Aubrey Green.
Yeah.
Aubrey Green.
So going back to that experience. Claude, when you first tried to get it, then he kicked you out the gym, kicked you off the team. Glen Mills, the coaches, can you play? You know what I'm saying? Show us your stuff.
Right.
And then, what would you say to all those individuals? See, like, seeing all that you accomplished, like those individuals that saw that potential in you back then, and then now, imagine if they was all sitting front row at your last game, or seeing you get into the Big Five Hall of Fame and all. What kind of speech would you have for those individuals, man?
So my Big Five Hall of Fame speech covered it all. So all of those people, they may have sparked something in me, but a lot of them didn't contribute to my success and to my development. So My uncles and his collective, the guys who was like I consider my extended family, I congratulated them. I thanked them. I
Got
think
you. Got you. Okay.
Claude Gross was there.
I got you.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One of my uncles was there. The other one couldn't be there because of certain extenuating circumstances.
I understand. Yep.
So Claude, all those people who really helped me and who was there with me, they were invited. Now some of them didn't show up, but yeah,
Huh?
I invited them. You know what
Of
I mean?
course.
So my speech was more about them than myself.
Got you. Got you.
My speech was more about the future. What's up? How we need to step out and reach out to these kids and produce a Rashid Bey, a Jerome Allen, a Kerry Kittles, or better.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my speech, and I didn't need to practice it. It was heartfelt. This is what I
Spoke from the
know,
heart, no doubt.
and I thank John Griffin who recruited me,
Uh-huh.
Jeff Arnold. I thank Claude Gross. These guys saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And my family and my uncles and them, they stayed behind me and they pushed me and they made me do stuff that I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they probably knew that how competitive I was, and they would
Yeah.
always say, "You can't mess with that boy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." So
They
so
knew
you
that.
gotta
That's how they would get to you. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so people that coaches now, and again, coaches and trainers and developers and parents have to know what triggering mechanisms to tap into
Yeah.
to get the kids to do their best and try their best. And that can be in sports, that can be in
In
anything,
life in general.
education. Like right, you gotta get them like, all right, you gotta get an igniter. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
here we go. So they knew how to do that. They studied me enough to know how to get that out of me. And I think more trainers now, more coaches now, more teachers now have to do that. And they need to be taking some type of classes even to learn how to do this because that's a skill.
Yep. Yep. It's definitely
That's
an
a
art
skill,
form. Yep.
right? They call it
Yep.
knowing your personnel.
Of
So
course.
I was their personnel and they knew me
Yep.
and they pushed me.
No
So
doubt.
that's what we got to do. That's
That's
what we need to
awesome,
do.
man. Hey, so real quick, just kind of sum up what life after St. Joe's, your pro career. And did you try to go to the NBA? Did you have an agent, and what led to
Yeah.
overseas? Kind of sum up the pro experience.
All right. So I'm going through my process with my uncle and about we picking an agent. This is funny. So we talked about March Madness. Yeah, we have March Madness. There you go, big fella.
Gotcha.
Right? I had a great run in March Madness. We
Oh
going
yeah,
against
yeah, yeah,
number
yeah.
one.
Don't forget that. Don't
Yeah,
forget that.
we're going through like we play Pacific. They got the boy Michael Olowokandi projected to be the number one pick. We Scooty Penn at Boston College, Big East MVP of the Big East tournament. I run down on him. We beat them. So now we running into Ron Mercer and them guys. This guy's a stud. I'm telling them like, yeah, we gonna have problems with this guy.
Yeah.
We running and gunning. We trying to do our best. The coach say we can't break the press. One of the assistants say just let Rashid go ahead and dribble through it. Phil look at him and say, "You crazy? Didn't we watch all these hours of guards trying to dribble through this press? You didn't see what they did to Alvin Williams? He had 12 turtles on national television. What are you trying to do? Get me fired?" So boom, he said, "Let him do it. He can do it." I break the press all. I'm breaking the press down.
The one man
I'm
press
getting off.
break.
Only
Yeah.
one broke the press.
Patino said, "This man is the only one who ran to our press like this." So have a great tournament. I make all regions, so I'm on a high, right? In my
Yes,
junior
yes,
year.
yes.
Going to finish that. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's taking off. Boom. I come out. It's a lockout year.
Wow, forgot about
I'm
that.
out during the
Wow,
lockout year, right?
bad timing. Dang.
Yes, bad timing.
And you had coming off a nice run too.
Yeah, so I was supposed to
Against
have
all
made
the top, top picks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
not only that, that's when they used to have they had the two NBA camps. They had the one out in Arizona, and
Uh-huh.
they had the one in Portsmouth. I was
Okay.
supposed to be in Arizona, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I did the USA basketball thing. A lot of NBA scouts were like, "Man, we like this guy." You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was projected in a certain way to be drafted probably. So I thought I was supposed to go to the thing out in Arizona. That didn't happen. So I'm like, damn, what happened? Then I go to Portsmouth. I really don't want to be there because I wanted to go to Arizona, so my preparation wasn't the same, and I really didn't know what to expect as a pro.
Gotcha.
Nobody was there to say you need to be doing this. You need like I was unprepared. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I played okay,
Uh-huh.
but wasn't like my best. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So we skip through that. I get invited to where I get invited to. So all right, we had a lockout. Nothing happens. Boom. The Spurs win the championship. That summer, I stopped playing ball.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, I stopped playing ball. I stopped playing ball for like a year.
Wow.
I was just really just hanging out. I'm running around with, my friends and just chilling. I get a call one day. They like, it's some scouts from overseas. They want to check you out. Then I said, Coach, I ain't played ball since a year or so. He like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't play ball. He said, I thought it was. I'm telling him like, I thought it was over.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, I'm chilling in the basement. I'm in Shiz's basement. It's me, Donnie Carr, Rasul Butler, Beanie Siegel was in there, my brother, and a few other dudes from like that I was cool with.
Wow.
And they hear me talking about basketball. They like, so when I hung up,
was this through like one of the college coaches' connections or your agent still?
This is from who is this from? This is from Phil Martelli.
Gotcha.
Phil Martelli. So going back a little bit, my agent I had was Eric Fleischer.
Okay.
Eric Fleischer had Kevin Garnett, Stephon Marbury,
Wow.
John Wallace,
wow,
somebody else, and me.
Wow.
So Marbury is the one who told Fleischer about me.
Okay.
Me, my uncle, and a couple of my uncles went up to this camp that Marbury was having, and we played.
Uh-huh.
So I had a real good day against Marbury. Marbury like, damn, son, you didn't get drafted?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. He like, man, why you ain't come out as a junior? I'm like, bro, I ain't. He was like, shh. He like, yo, you tough, man. I'm gonna spread the word on you.
Of course.
So that was love from him.
Nope.
Like he spread the word. So this boy Fleischer came, got in contact with me, got in contact with my uncle in the school. I took him as my agent. It just was a lot, man. It was like it was so much, and I just couldn't get it going. But then I got invited to the Nets camp after I had a year overseas because I went and played. And that turned out to be the only reason I went to the workout is because that's like I said, all them guys that was in that basement, we were watching doing something. They were like, bro, they don't know you can't play ball anymore. So I'm like, what?
They go that thing again. They go that
You
they
can't play ball. You ain't play ball. It's smooth. He told me something, bro, you ain't played ball in a year. You can't play. We shoot up to the workout. It's like 12 of us. I got nothing. No shorts, no sneakers, nothing. I go up there. It's at St. Joe's. They give me everything. I put my stuff on. I go down the other end. I'm like, yo, I need like 5 minutes to warm up. They give me 5 minutes down there. My first 5 shots are air balls. They laughing all at in the stands. Like, you a bum. Look at you. Can't even hit the rim. So I started like going through the workout. Like I was like, hold up. I got to start making layups. I'm making layups. So then I'm like, I hit a couple foul shots. I hit a couple foul line jumpers. I hit a couple threes. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. They like, man, you better go back down there and work out some more. Like, you about to get. They got Ty Shine in there, Bernard Blunt, Brian Lynch. You know Brian Lynch? Brian Lynch went to Nova.
Yes.
And a few other guys. So it was like a couple Big East guys and all that.
Solid guards, yeah.
Listen, I come in there, 5 minutes, it's over.
Wow.
I'm shaking and baking. I'm rolling. But I'm winded.
Yes.
So they laughing at me on the side. My homie's like, bro, you gonna throw up? I got the peanut gallery heckling me. So they really pushing me to go and play.
Of course, they want to see you do well.
Yeah, because Ty Shine came off a good year.
Yes. See,
right?
no, I just interviewed Ty Shine last week too.
Man, I punished him in the gym, man.
No doubt.
Yo, shout out to Ty Shine, but like that's how my European career got started.
No doubt.
So I go to Europe. I have a good year. I come back. I go to the Nets camp.
Okay.
They invite me to camp.
So that year in Europe was like a resume builder.
Yeah. So really, this was really my second year out of college though. So because my first year I just was sitting around. Then my second year I went overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Hated it. I go over. I go to the Nets camp on a phone call like 8 o'clock in the morning. You got to be to New Jersey by 11.
Wow.
I called my uncle like, bro, I need to get the jersey. So he like, man, I'm busy. I can't take you to New Jersey. He give me a car. He had like a station wagon or something. No, he had like a Chevy. I don't know. It was some type of station wagon. He gave me the key. Like, all right, man, see you later. Like,
Go live your dream.
listen, I ride over there with some girl. I'm like, yo, you gonna ride? She's like, I'll ride with you. We sitting in the jaw. All the dudes in the league coming at her. I'm like, yo, it was yeah, I don't know. I should say her name on the joint. I don't say that. I tell my brother. So look, they all coming at her like, damn, who you with? Kendall Gill and all these boys. I was like, damn,
Wow.
no, but shout out to her though, because she was loyal. Like, I'm with him. Like, you know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt. No. Hey, real quick, shout out to my man Waiters. Waiters got Waiters in the building.
D Waiters.
Got D Waiters in the building. Appreciate
y'all know D Waiters' hood name, do y'all?
No.
Headache.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's
D
my
Waiters
man,
gotta
though.
get you on the show, man. Legends Week gotta get you on the show, Waiters, man. Shout me out, man.
Yeah, you got to get him on there. He got a great story to tell, man. He just got to open
sure.
it up. So look, I go to the Nets camp, right? Bang. I go in there, I work out. I'm balling.
No doubt.
So they like, all right, come back tomorrow. I gotta go back tomorrow. I gotta go home and come back.
Mm-hmm.
I ride back with her. I'm like, you gonna ride back with me tomorrow? She's like, I ride back with you tomorrow. Go up there. Because I don't got nobody who can go with me because it's so early. You know, in the summer, nobody woke in the hood, nobody's awake. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wake up at 12 o'clock because it's hot. So she wake up, she ride up there with me again. Even like I'm crushing. So after that, they like, yeah, man, we gonna invite you to vet camp. I'm like, all right, what's vet camp?
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything.
But you still learning all this stuff.
Yeah, so I'm like, what's vet camp? They was like, well, that's when the real team's gonna be here. So like, you're gonna have a chance to really make the team. Like, this was just like a little interview for you. So I get in the car, right? I'm like, yeah, they invited me to camp. She was like, yo, I heard a lot about you with basketball. I never saw you play. She was like, you were balling. So
no doubt. No doubt.
All right.
No doubt.
I'm like, damn, for somebody who know what they talking about, you give me you bigging me up. So that was cool, man. So that's how I got invited to the Nets camp. I get in the camp, man. Everybody's afraid of Marbury. So I'm like, I'm guarding. I'm guarding. But I already had a little interaction with him at the camp. So guess what he told me this time? He's like, nah, Rook. This ain't gonna be like that camp that we was at. Yeah, he's like, I already know you can play. So yeah, he's like, yo,
he ain't holding
come
back.
at you.
He ain't holding back.
No, he ain't hold back. But man, like I held my own. I got his respect. I got the respect from the coaches. So like I started being a guy like they could rely on that was like
of course.
I could handle the ball. I could hit a little shots here and there. It's like I was trying to figure it out. But Eddie Jordan and them guys, and they told me later on, like, yo, you know, we have a bet. All the coaches bet, like, who they player that they gonna think gonna make the team. Eddie Jordan, like, yo, I picked you. So I'm like, all right. So he giving me little inside scoops on things what the coaches saying, what I should be doing, right? So like, Marbury after a while starts saying like, no, we gotta take Rashid. He's perfect to back me up.
Wow.
Like, he can do some things like so. He was really advocating he was pushing my campaign.
Yeah.
So like, I was in there. So we had a inter squad scrimmage, right? So I tell my uncles and them, yo, come up, man. I'm telling them to get off, right? So my uncles was like, man, get out of here. You gonna get crushed out there. But they came up. It was my uncle Daoud, it was Sharif, and I think it was somebody else. Like they came up, and I had like 20 points on like. I might have had like 17 points in the inter squad, but then I caught a cramp. I caught my whole back like just locked up because I was going so hard.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, my nutrition and all of that stuff, it wasn't up to par yet. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
I was pushing my body further than I was really able to take it. But the coaches came in there and was like, yo, don't ever walk off the court. You gotta just like fall down and let the trainer come in. So they giving me game on. They like, yo, when you sub yourself out, it looked bad, but it was like
That was a bad look.
They were like, yo, you were balling.
Wow.
They were like, yo. So they were telling like all the people back home, like, yo, I think this kid's gonna make the team. Something transpired though. I don't know, man. I heard different stories, so I don't have any concrete evidence about what people allegedly said to paint me in a bad light. But you know, some things that happened. But they all said to me, like, if this guy's in the NBA, you definitely belong in the NBA. You're gonna make the team. One coach even told me, like, man, Scott Brooks can make $20 million. You gotta be worth at least $50 million. So I'm thinking, like, damn, I'm about to get paid. Then the Sherman Douglas thing happened.
Okay.
Sherman Douglas was he was already under contract, but he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to take a buyout. So what he did was he made them keep him on the roster and made them pay him his money. And they didn't want to cut him because they would have had to pay him his whole contract. Right. So it was a contractual thing. So they all were like, look, we going to get you back in the league, right? So they were telling other teams about me. They told Memphis about me. They told Boston about me. So GMs were calling my phone. So I'm so shot out. And I'm really like mad because I didn't make the team because I know that I played well. I'm giving my phone to my homies, telling them to tell GMs, yo, tell them I'm in the gym working out.
Wait a minute.
Yo, I got GMs. I'm telling them to hold on. Yo, man. I'm shot out, bro.
Gee, I don't believe this, man.
So sometimes, like, my homies want to go to the game. I'm like, yo, we can go watch the Knicks and the Nets. They're like, how? I'm like, hold on, I'm going to call John Nash. I'm calling them.
Oh,
I'm calling the GMs like, yo, I need 10 tickets to the games. Then they playing in the Meadowlands back then. You can get 100 tickets. Ain't nobody showing up.
No doubt.
I used to go down. I used to take my homies to the games, ride over, man. So, I mean, I probably could have made it if I would have stuck to it. But, you know, life happens. Now I'm like 22.
Yeah.
I need some money.
Yeah.
I can't continue to ask my family to support me because I have to do something. So I jumped on that overseas thing.
Yeah.
And that's how I got in Europe. And I just, you know, I tried to maximize it. I maximized it. You know what I'm saying?
And you were here for about 10 years, right?
Yeah, about 10 years. So like after my third year, I was like one of the best guards in Europe.
Wow.
One season in the Euro League, I was like some of them had me ranked number 2. I was always top 5 guard in Europe. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's awesome.
Then the year when I was about to get the crazy money, I messed my knee up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had messed my knee. I had messed my meniscus up. Okay. And it just was like, wow. So my agent called me like, yo, man, we got him at 1.6. We got him at they all over. Just keep going. So then that happened, and I just, you know, you get hurt, and it's like your psyche is hurt more than anything.
Yeah, mentally, even when your body's 100% healthy, still in your mind, you still, you know.
So the doctors are like, you're cool, you can do it, but you know, if anybody had a meniscus injury, your quadricep goes through muscle atrophy and it shrinks. Mm-hmm. So I had like no strength in my jumping leg because it was in my left leg. So that took a while to build that back up. But when I built it back up, I had interest from this guy named Julian Dunkley, man. This dude was like unbelievable, like 6'10". He was like the first tall dude that I ever personally played against that could handle the ball and shoot threes. Like we played together in Europe, and it was like the Atlanta Hawks wanted me, him, and this other dude to come to camp.
Wow.
He get hurt. Something happened to me. Like every time I was like, it just wasn't meant to be. Like so, I was never upset about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know that I always caught the attention of NBA teams. Like, damn, this boy can play. So it was never a thing like I wasn't good enough. So I already knew. You know what I mean? So I just maximized that European.
It just seemed like, I mean, you like each time as far as making it to the NBA. Correct. Whether it was a political thing or this or that, you know what I'm saying? But not to say that you wasn't earning your stripes.
Right.
I'm sure your grade was, you know, A+ in every category.
Yeah.
But it was other circumstances. but
Yeah.
still you played professionally. And do you still have any regrets, or were you just satisfied with where life took you
No,
and you're good?
no, no. I don't have any regrets. I was satisfied with it. I walked away healthy.
Uh
You know
huh.
what I'm saying? I still can play. Sometimes I get out there and show like, nah, bro, I
No doubt,
still can.
no doubt.
So more than anything was the knowledge that I got from the NBA in Europe, because I always had in my mind that I was going to have to come back and help kids just
Gotcha.
from who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I want to try to help somebody. I want to help them in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that exactly. So that's how I was able to reach back to Scoop and talk to Dion a little bit here and there. But he was never in the city like that. He was already blowing up. So I always reached back first in my immediate surroundings, which was my neighborhood.
Gotcha.
And then what was that? That was my high school. So I'm going to go back now. Neumann is jumping because of what people saw me do. Now they just continue. They pushing it. So I'm like, look,
Yeah,
get with
Newman
me.
became the wave after that.
Right. So I'm trying to help guys. I'm going out my way. Like one time, Scoop was playing. He wasn't playing so well. So I'm looking at him as it's my young boy. He's from South Philly. Hey man, he goes to Neumann. He's an alumni, right? I'll fly out to Syracuse, stay with him for a week, and get his game together. So Jim Boeheim and them says one time to the assistants, once they did their vetting process, they say to me, "No, keep Scoop over there with him, with Rashid. Let him, because he need to, get
He
together."
needs that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they valued what I was doing.
Of
You
course.
know what I'm saying? And a lot of times in Philly, that's not value. People
Uh huh.
think like, "Oh man, he just no." I'm just trying to give back and help people uh, go further than I did, to
Of
make it
course.
to a higher level than I did. Don't make mistakes that I did. You know what
Uh
I'm
huh.
saying? So I had to reach back to Ya. I had to reach back to Donnie again, Scoop, and other guys that was in my immediate. So then that just turned again. I'm up North Philly now. Now I'm in Jersey. Now I got some kid from Canada. How is this happening? You know what
Uh
I'm saying?
huh.
So word starts to travel,
Yeah.
and then you look up. But I have to be honest. At first, I didn't want to do it, and Claude Gross got me into it.
Yeah.
Claude
Yeah.
Gross said, "You have a lot to share, man. You know a lot of." And for him to say that,
No doubt.
anybody on this thread can tell you, he's not giving anyone any accolades about knowing
I
and
talked to
teaching
Donnie
basketball.
about him. Donnie said the same
Oh man,
thing.
he'll tell you to your face, man. You seem like a nice guy, and you're all right, but you don't know shit about basketball. He'll tell you just like that. You know what I'm saying? So he pushed me to do it, and I got involved, and I just been helping kids since. But it's a headache and it's a burnout,
Yeah.
not from the kids, but from the parents.
Parents. So I already knew you was. I already
The
knew what you was gonna say. I
bro,
already knew it.
the parents.
I already knew it.
So you taking a you taking a raw canvas and you starting to put a little color on this joint. It's turning into a little art. Next thing you know, they start telling you like, well, he got to make the league. I'm like, what?
Crazy.
I'm talking about this man going to college now. If he can get better and better, I'll tell you like, this kid has a chance to make the NBA. I'll
Uh
tell the parent.
huh.
But I don't do that even anymore because like their mind starts they get dollar signs in their eyes and
And
they
they think
start
it's all
thinking
about their kid and
yeah. So
yeah.
it's like a lot of kids that I dealt with, like they didn't make it to the finish line because of the parents. They pushed me away.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. 100%.
that's sad. That's sad. But now I
Yeah.
got my own kid. So like,
Yeah.
but that's
Focus
guess
all your
what
energy
though?
there.
That's a struggle too. Because the mom says, "Oh, you don't gotta be pushing my baby that hard." And I'm like, be quiet.
Let us work. Let us do our thing.
Yeah, let us work. Yeah, he's not complaining, right?
Hey,
But that's
couple more questions. Couple more questions. We'll wrap it up. Along the theme of what you're talking about now, you actually already got into one of the last things I wanted to ask you. When you think back about when you think back on your entire basketball journey, what are some things that you learned from your journey? Some of the things that basketball has taught you about life, about yourself, about anything.
one of the things that basketball definitely taught me was teamwork. Teamwork,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because one man can only do certain one or two things, maybe four if he's working at optimal level, he could do four things. But it may be 25 things that need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a team, you're going to accomplish more. If you have a let me say this, if you have a good team,
Gotcha.
There's a lot of teams, and this is not a good team, so their production is lackluster. So it taught me about trying to formulate a good team, trying to play my role and be the best role player that I can be. Right? Not always trying to be the lead, because in certain areas, this guy is better. Let's let him lead in this one. So you got to learn how to remove yourself and take yourself and step back and say, no, you do this, and then teach me what I need to do or tell me what I need to do. So that's
Gotcha.
what it taught me. It taught me about maintaining good character,
Gotcha.
right? So that with talent can take you really far.
Mm-hmm.
So good character with talent is what you see in like a Kyrie Irving. You see that in a Kevin Durant. You'll see that in LeBron. And it's even some guys who aren't that talented but are good character guys, and they're doing very well.
Yep.
So having good character and being just cordial and polite to people
Yep.
is definitely one of the lessons. The other thing I learned is that you have to be able to articulate what you want and what you need.
Gotcha.
So my years of not talking, of being mute and just observing people, I learned a lot. But I got a lot out of people when I start speaking and asking and demanding even sometimes certain things. So
Gotcha.
you can do all that in a real respectful, educated, calculated type of way. We don't
100%.
have to be so crazy in the way that we approach people,
Gotcha.
because it's going to be a turnoff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I learned that. The other thing I learned later, and I never learned this growing up, was money management. This needs to be learned. I need financial literacy.
Yep.
I didn't have that when I was
Uh-huh.
playing basketball. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So it needs to be learned. It needs to be. So I got that later at the University of Penn. Somebody
Uh-huh.
got me in the University of Penn. They have these classes. They gave me another class about the Nonprofit Institute at the University of Penn. So I'm getting a lot of Ivy League stuff late in my latter years of my life. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? That I needed in my younger years.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to my sons about this now at 10 years old, because financial literacy is very important. Knowing how to formulate a business plan is very important.
And all that stuff needs to be a part of like elementary
Yeah,
and middle
and
school.
why isn't it part of the curriculum?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So these are the things that I learned in basketball. And then people, and I expressed that, hey, I need help in this. And then next thing you know, I'm doing things at the University of Penn and then at Drexel about social engagement, community
Uh-huh.
engagement. My family is really outspoken on that front. So is any little help that I could get them, or any little hints or clues, is beneficial. But we need to be educated and not just trained, because I say that college is more of a training.
Uh-huh.
It's not education.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You get
Yep.
trained how to do a particular skill or a couple skills. So we need some education, and then that's what had to come from people like myself. If I'm
No
gonna
doubt.
be a mentor, I'm gonna have to be well rounded and well versed in many different topics other than just basketball. That's
No
my
doubt.
gateway to this kid. We have a commonality with there right there. But for me to go deeper and tap into his psyche, I'm gonna have to be versed in different areas.
No doubt. Hey, well, we're pretty much coming to a close of this third hour, man. This has been amazing, dog. More than way more than I anticipated, man. Thank you so much for giving me this much time.
No
I
problem.
trust me. I have a million more questions,
I know.
but
Invite
I'll
me
hold
back
you all
another
night.
time, man.
No doubt,
You
no
can,
doubt.
you
So
can
so
invite me to
real quick. And I wanted to do a little Q&A. I wanted to give you some time to go back and forth, because I know the people got a lot of questions for you. But I
yeah.
don't want to hold you all night. What's one piece of advice you would have for a 17, 18-year-old high school player right now? They're trying to get recruited. They're trying to do all this and that. What's one piece of advice that you would have for them?
The first thing I would tell them is to dream big. Dream big. Shoot for the stars. You might hit the moon. You know what I'm saying? Dream big. But don't just dream. You got to put work behind it.
No doubt.
Put the
Mm-hmm.
work behind it. And the other thing is to surround yourself, to make your circle, to make your team, right? Who you consider a resource base, make them really, really, really sound at what they do. Don't get these misfits guys coming around telling you certain things. And on the basketball front, I would say you have to really master the fundamentals. And if you do that, you're going to be a really good player.
No doubt.
You may not be a super player, but if you have some talent behind those fundamentals, then you're going to be a super player.
Gotcha.
Because and again, put work behind the dream and the words. That work, it can't be replaced, and it builds character. Builds character.
No doubt. Well, thanks again, man. Just like I said, I can't thank you enough, man. God bless you. God bless your family, man. Thanks for this opportunity to help to solidify your legacy, man, and to bridge the gap and to share your story with this younger generation. Much success, man. Dog, like in this 3 hours that we've talked, man. You have so much to give, dog. And I'm a big believer in, you know, like the things that we do is really not about us. So in your situation, I truly believe that you've been being built up all these years because it's something else out there greater for you, man. I mean, like that you're involved with now.
Yeah.
Whether it's like the mentoring and all your experiences, being able to give back to the kids now, and sharing all this with the kids and speaking engagements, whatever it is, man. You have so much to give, man. You're such a blessed individual, intellectual. Besides athletics, you're such a great intellectual, man, with so much to give to people, man. So I just want to, you know, continue to pray that you can tap into all that stuff, man, and continue to just, you know, do what you do in that area, man. That's awesome, man.
And I appreciate that. But just to throw it out there, I'm gonna continue with my mentorship at the Shipley School.
Coach. Oh, wait, we taking our talents to Shipley School?
Yeah, we taking our talents to Shipley School.
No doubt.
The time is right.
Shout out to my guy Phil.
The social climate,
down, man.
Yeah, the social climate is right. So I'm
Shipley, that's my family, man.
Yeah. My son go there. My son been going there for 6 years. So
now I'm like, it's going down, man. Big Star's gonna be in the building with the camera. It's going down, man.
Yep, that's where I'm at, man.
For sure.
And we got like this guy. He's a mentor of mine, Dr. Reese Henderson. He's from my neighborhood, but he's like super intellectual guy. He told me like, you got to get into coaching.
It's inevitable, man.
But he's like, no, you got to get into coaching because the way you break down stuff to people, it's like you're natural at it. I was like, yeah, but he said, man, you got to do it. So I'm gonna take my talents up there. I'm gonna try to do the best that I can and try to get as many people that look like us into that institution. And we're gonna try to keep it. We're gonna try to do some big things. We already stole one of Haverford's up and coming talents, man.
No doubt. Well, I'm gonna be in the building, man. You know, you see Big Star in the corner with the camera. You know it's going down, man. For sure.
Hey, man, we got this kid. He's gonna be on the rise, man. His name Rajon, man. Look out for him.
For sure. Hey, we got a minute left. Any last minute shout outs, man? Shout out Tiffy Bey, man. Shout out to Tiffy, man. All the great things he's doing with the music and all that you doing in the community. Shout out to you, big homie.
Appreciate you, bro.
Tiff real active along with rest of my uncle and other people, man. The shout out goes to all the people who tuned in, man. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to like the youth, man. They tomorrow. The youth is tomorrow. That was a statement that I grew up on. I still believe in that mantra. I still carry it, and I'm going to try to, you know, have an impact and be impactful on the youth, man. That's where I'm at.
No doubt. Quick shout out to all the legends who was on tonight. We had Deion Waiters on, Flip Murray, Donnie Carr, Michael Jordan, the whole team. Everybody was, all the legends was out tonight, man. So thank you again, man. We definitely got to stay in contact. I definitely got to see your boy play. I'll be out there in Shipley holding it down, doing what I do for the youth and for you guys, man.
Right. Teef said you can send the clips to his phone.
Oh, bet. Yeah. Hey, Teef, I'm gonna upload this entire interview to YouTube, and I'll send you the link. All right, bet. Hey, God bless you, Rashid, man. Thank you so much, man. And we definitely gonna cross paths soon, all right?
No problem, for sure.
Thank you, man.
Sure. All right, thank you.
Yep.